bunch of different college football games, and I flipped on, you know, the game, and it was 1-1. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to hang around for a while.
Yep.
And it was incredibly exciting. It was unbelievably exhilarating. Back and forth. They take the lead 2-1. They immediately give it back up. And then the next thing you know, it's in the extra time. They fall behind. Goalie breaks his leg. It goes into penalty kicks. Like that. It was insane. It was absolutely insane. You heard that voice right there.
The man,
Mario
the myth,
Ruiz
the legend.
in studio with us as well. That's a pretty big smile on your face there, Mario.
Oh, Mario
That's
is
pretty
not.
good.
LA, stand up. LA, ESPNLA, turn it up. We are the champs, baby. LA is black and gold. Let's go.
That's awesome. That is so good.
You know it is a special moment when I'm in studio because I never come in studio.
I
right?
know. I know.
It is a special moment.
It's either a special moment or I'm talking LAFC.
That's right.
Today,
and it's both.
And today, it is both.
That is
LA,
so
let's
great.
go.
That is so great.
Championship Monday.
All right, the floor is yours, Mario. Tell me what it was like in the building because we're watching on TV.
Oh.
I was talking with Sam this morning, and if you were going to,
It looked like an English Premier League
If
game.
you were going to create a movie about soccer, you would create the environment that was at the bank on Saturday afternoon.
Oh, my
The
goodness.
dancing, the music, the smoke, the flags, everything about it was
The
just
ups, the
electric.
downs.
The ups, the downs. An injury, a backup coming in and winning MVP.
What an
You couldn't
emotional
write it.
roller coaster.
What was it like
that
in the
was.
building?
It was just that. It was all that mixed into one. My hands were sweating the entire time. I mean, the bank, we've had so many memorable moments at that place, but nothing like this. This was special from the very beginning to the very end, from Max sacrificing his body to making that save. And that's what this was. This was sacrifice all season long. People don't know what it's like to sacrifice to be a champion. I remember talking to Ryan Hollingshead, who's a defender, at the end of the game. He was talking about the sacrifice as well. He was talking about how his wife had him sleep alone in the other room while she took care of all 4 kids in the other room and let him make sure that he could get his sleep through the night. And stuff like that, you know, even from the players all the way down to like the broadcast team, like Dave Denholm. He came out here to LA from Cleveland where he lives, and his daughter's sick, throwing up. She's throwing up, and he said, Mario, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it to the game. I said, what? This is the MLS Cup. He said, you know, family back here, we're sick. I don't know if I'm going to make it. And you know what? He came down and he was here, man. He made that sacrifice. And that's what it was all about.
His call was absolutely amazing.
He's been amazing for this whole 5 years.
Yes,
you know?
he has.
He's been here since day one with me trying to put this broadcast together, along with our boss, Amanda. Amanda, you know, the boss around here at 710, she was there from day one trying to put this broadcast together, how it's going to look on ESPNLA, da-da-da-da. And, man, it's just a whole bunch of memories going through my mind right now of what everybody's been through. And it was the ultimate payoff.
Here's what's so impressive to me is LAFC has been here now for a handful of years, not that many. And remember when they first got here and it was like, hey, that's pretty cool what they're doing over there. Wait a minute. So they're creating their completely own brand. The colors are perfect for them. They got their own, you know, you're building it from the roots of LA, but you're starting to create your own fan base and everything else. And you got this unbelievable stadium that's the perfect stadium in the perfect location with the perfect amount of people. And that to me, Travis and I can't talk to what you were just saying. Hey, this is what it feels from start to where you get to Saturday and you end up winning in penalty kicks. That's what's so impressive. It's a brand that built itself so quick and got so much attention, and now it's got a championship under their belt.
Oh, my gosh, and that's what it is. It's all about building championships, right? This is the city of champions, right? If you want to be up there with the Dodgers, with the Lakers, you know, you got to start winning those championships.
Right now they're the only one. Right now they're the only one that's there.
Yes, and it feels because the Lakers and the Rams are in such bad spots right now because the Dodgers had such a disappointing conclusion, but the Dodgers and the Lakers win the World Series and the NBA championship in 2020. The Rams win the Super Bowl in 2021. LAFC wins the MLS Cup in 2022.
Who grabs it in 2023?
Well, there's 2023. There's 2 NHL teams here. Neither one of them probably Stanley Cup good, but there's Charger, USC, there's UCLA. There's all of these things in the mix. But to your point, Mario, they've put themselves in the mix with these other teams because this is the city of champions. This is did you win the championship or not? And their answer is, yeah, we just did.
Yeah,
This is what we do in LA.
And this is what we do.
This is what we do in LA. And if you don't do it, you don't fit in, right? There's some teams that don't fit in. You got to do it. LA is black and gold. The proper LA soccer team won the MLS Cup. And that's it.
I love it. So take me through it. So because they won, you can be honest, because they ended up on the right side of it. Was there at any point in that game when they tied it 2-2 towards the end of regulation, when they took the lead in extra time?
Yeah, that's
where
what I
you're
want to know, too.
You know what?
When they're down 3-2,
this is not
what's
meant to
the
be.
feeling?
It's not meant to be.
And then what, 7-8 minutes later, it's tied 3 apiece again.
Nah, I'll tell you something cool. It's like after the game, one of the chief officer of the brand at LAFC, after the game when everybody was celebrating, we were hugging, and he goes to me, there was too much love in this stadium for us to come out other than champions. And another story, I was driving in, or my wife was driving in to LA Live here where we had to park. We parked here at LA Live, and then we took the train over to the bank, right, because of the whole parking situation. So on the way in, I told the wifey, you drive. I'm going to make this promo. A donut promo is what we call it in the business. I'm going to make a donut where I have the very, very beginning of the promo. I leave a space with just music, and then I put the very end of the promo. And that little space in the very beginning is for the final call of us winning the championship. I'm going to leave that open because when we finish this game and we win the championship, I'm going to go up and I'm going to put that highlight in there. And we're going to get this promo on the air as soon as we are done with this match. And how did it play out? Just like that. Because we had all the confidence. We had all the confidence that there was no other way this was supposed to end in Hollywood with that Bayo goal, with Ilie scoring that PK. It feels so good.
I bet it does. I bet it does.
Trav would have been worried about the soccer gods.
Well,
Trav would have said, "Oh, we can't do this,
of everything."
babe. Yeah.
Well, they made you go through it. You had to earn it because watching it on television, and again, the atmosphere on TV was electric. I can't imagine what it was like inside the building.
Gosh.
But when they went up 2-1, right?
Yeah.
What was there? 10 minutes left, give or take, about that. You're like, they're gonna win. Right, it's just because it was such a beautiful set piece. They get the goal. You're thinking, okay, this is meant to be.
So at that point, I'm up in the booth, and I go running down because I said, we're about to win this thing. Let's go down to the field, and let's get these post-game interviews on the field. And then,
boom,
they tied it.
They tied it. And it felt like it happened in 10 seconds.
Exactly.
It probably was closer to 10 minutes, but it felt like it just instantly they tied it. You're like, oh, man. And then you go into the extra time. It just... That's what makes it so much fun. The up, the down, we're going to get it. Oh, my gosh, we're not going to get it, to a really unfortunate injury to Crepo. That it just all of these things. And then is there anybody, I don't care what sport it is there anybody that doesn't get fired up for the guy that hasn't played all day? It's like, oh, by the way, biggest moment, we're going to need you to go in there and win the game for us.
Yeah.
This isn't like a relief pitcher who, you come in all the time. This guy doesn't come in and do this, and now this season, the cup, the championship, everything is hanging in the balance. And, oh, by the way, you've been watching for an hour and a half like the rest of us. Yeah. Now go win the championship for us.
John McCarthy, he was ready. Trust that. He was ready all season long. He stays ready. Matter of fact, we had a game. LAFC had a game against Club America at SoFi Stadium. 80,000 people, right? He got to start for that game. And he saved a penalty kick in that game. He was ready. This is what he does. He was ready. The whole plan was for him to come in when they go to PKs. The whole plan, whether Maxime is ready to go or not,
he was going to come in for that moment.
Come in, and he was going to be the keeper in the PKs. So he was ready. The whole team had confidence in him. He had confidence in himself. That's
what's it feel like to cheer for a team that's winning? Because I don't think we don't have that right now. We don't have that right now.
Look, let's just
I forgot what
LAFC.
that felt like.
Why'd you have to do that? We were in. Look at this smile on Mario's face.
Well, I didn't do anything to Mario. I want to know what it feels like.
Hey, what about the Lakers and the Rams? Why'd you have to?
You're going to do it in 2 minutes anyways.
Yo, so it's a championship Monday here on 710 ESPN.
Yep.
So it's only right, being the home of the black and gold, that we bring in the MLS Cup trophy here to the station in studio today.
That's coming today? That's
later
amazing.
on today, we're going to bring the
It's amazing.
cup.
I love it. So I can see your hat. I can see your scarf. I can see your kit. What else you got going over there? I mean, you got LAFC underwear, shoes?
Probably got socks.
I was at the celebration, the parade celebration last night, and I was wearing this jersey. So I don't even care. I'm wearing it again today.
What was the celebration like?
Usually I'm a man of fashion and I wear new stuff all the time. Or
No,
whatever.
you're still fashionable.
But I'm just like,
that's not a
whatever.
problem.
I'm wearing this one again.
That's not a problem.
What was the celebration like, Mario?
Oh, it was just so great. It was just so great to see all the people out there just enjoying it. It was a party, man. Nothing less than you can expect. 32-52. Fireworks was going off everywhere. Everything was just lit, man. It was just amazing. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So we're going to bring in the cup.
Amazing.
We're going to bring in the cup later on.
Okay.
And
Okay.
a very, very, very special surprise along with the cup. All right?
A surprise and the cup. It's not
Yes.
a bad
We're
way to
good.
do it. Thanks, Mario.
Yeah, we're good.
That's awesome.
Congratulations, brother.
Congratulations.
Dale, dale, black and gold. Let's go.
How good does that feel? How good does that feel?
Especially-
a little championship action.
Especially, and Mario's a perfect example of this. You can't be more connected to that franchise the way they are. Like the radio broadcast, what you guys are doing, what we're doing with the Lakers, everything else. That's as connected as it is to LAFC, and you could feel it. Yeah, you could feel his energy. I don't know if he had Jack Daniels or something like that, but that jersey probably went through a lot these last couple of days.
It was incredibly exciting, and you and I, we're not we're not on Mario's level when it comes to fandom for soccer and whatnot. But it was really hard not to get caught up in that. It was
a lot of
exciting.
times people make fun of soccer. They're like, well, they just played 90 minutes and it's 0-0. Yeah, it wasn't one of those games.
No,
wasn't
there
one
were
of those
chances and there were dramatic plays.
2-2 go to OT, both teams score. That never happens.
No,
and then go to penalty kicks.
Extraordinary.
That first kick from Philly, on the penalty kicks, I was like, that would be me. You just slip and sky it over the crossbar. I'm like, yeah, that's
I almost landed on the freeway. It just was,
How about that feeling?
Got a
Just
little
sitting on your
underneath it along the way. It is a $1 Million Monday. You're going to be listening all day long for your chance to win $1 million. You got a chance to win some tickets to see the Rams and the Cardinals coming up on Sunday at SoFi Stadium, and I guess we have to do it. I guess we have to talk about what the Rams did to themselves and what they did to their season yesterday in Tampa. That's coming up next. Plus, we got some breaking NFL news. It is a busy $1 Million Monday right here on Travis and Slee, 710.
710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1
Million Mondays.
Million Dollar Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction,
And you can win $1 million.
and you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
I have questions about your birthday weekend that we'll get to here in just a minute. But a little breaking NFL news very quickly. The Colts have fired Frank Reich as their head coach. They've already announced that Jeff Saturday, who is an ESPN analyst, former player for the Indianapolis Colts, he's going to take over the team on an interim basis. The last time a NFL or a coach in the NFL ascended to head coach without any college or pro experience was Norm Van Brocklin back in 1961.
I remember that.
Jeff Saturday has a little high school coaching experience, but no college, no pro experience. He's been on TV. You see him. You watch ESPN, you know Jeff Saturday. He's your new Colts head coach.
Can I just say this? And, obviously somebody that does not have head coaching experience, be like, oh, what are you doing? But there's also so many coaches that get jobs in the NBA and the NFL, and they get freaking recycled. I know which guy you're talking. I know which guy you're thinking about. That get recycled left and right, and they don't have any success. And they find I could go through 5 names I can name off in the NBA today, and you're like, oh, he's still coaching. Oh no, he's now with another NBA team.
Mike Woodson and Alvin Gentry, I think, have coached every team in the league twice.
So
they've been around a minute.
That doesn't mean that it's okay I just have no idea. I've seen enough with random coaches getting opportunities and not doing anything with it. All right, roll the dice.
Nathaniel Hackett's a head coach in the NFL. He doesn't know what he's doing. He apprenticed a bunch of different places. So what difference does it make? How was your birthday, Slee? Happy belated birthday by a day.
Thank you.
Did you do anything exciting?
I went and had so they played. It was kind of a weird schedule. Went out Saturday, went and got some good food. Yesterday I went to a
Where
nice
did that pizza
steakhouse.
come from that you put in the group text?
So there's a place in Pasadena, U Street Pizza, I want to say.
Looked amazing.
Fantastic pizza. Can I tell you a funny story about it? What would you do in this situation? I didn't do it, but I almost wanted to do it. I've been to that place plenty of times. I like the place. I like wood fire pizza, right? Go get a glass of wine, or in some cases, when the Padres lost, they were eliminated, I went and got the bourbon. And bourbon and pizza, not exactly a good mix, but let's just go take it down. So the server, the waiter that's waiting on me and my girl, I see him, and I'm like, same guy. Man, I think we've got this guy like 4 or 5 times. Sit down. He goes, hey, welcome to blah, blah, blah.
Have you ever been here before?
Have you ever been here before? I cannot wait to.
So
listen,
much.
He said, and my response is like, I was like, no, I'm playing into this one. No, never been here before. This is just amazing. Look, we've heard great things. Okay, well, hey, I'm going to go get your drinks ready for you. And but this is not the time on Saturday that I went. It's overdue of, like, I was already thinking this the last time I went. Like, hey, it's the same guy.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to know.
I should know his name. He should know mine.
He's going to know that we've been here before. Every time we've been here, it's the same dude.
Sure.
Nope, absolutely nothing. He remembered nothing.
That's bad waitering. Because, look, if you get a little familiar with him and he treats you nice, maybe he gets you your food a little bit quicker, make sure that you get a good table. Oh, so a little extra 10, a little extra 15, a little extra 20.
Here's my
question. Take care of him.
Here's my question to you. Do you say in that moment, yes, have been here before, you served us last time? And you could say it in a way where you're joking around. I did not want to do that. I'm like, why am I going to pretend like...
It's a good question.
Why do I have to tell this guy that I've been here before? You either know I've been here before, which was about a week ago, and it was about 3-4 other times over the course of the last couple of months.
Yeah, if it was just once, even if it was a few days ago and he doesn't remember, not a big deal. But if it's 4 or 5...
I could tell you specific moments that happened with him on previous stuff. So in my head, I'm like, I'm a veteran coming to the same place, and they're like, never heard of you, never seen you. Never seen you before.
That happened to you, because I had forgotten that this happened, but you mentioned it. So Susan and I are going out on Friday night. We're going to our spot, right? We hadn't been in close to a month. We hadn't been in a while. And we're walking. It's a little cool. It's a little windy, and it's getting dark, and so we 99% of the time we sit inside, okay, because it's warmer, et cetera, et cetera. We're walking in, and the owner of the restaurant, or I think it's the owner's daughter, if I'm guessing, sees us and goes, oh, hey, good to see you guys again. She's seen us. She doesn't know us, but she's like, oh, do you guys have a reservation? And Susan and I looked at it. We haven't had a reservation at this place ever. Why would tonight be the night that we have one? No, we don't. She goes, oh, we're kind of booked inside.
Yeah, they're booked.
Is outside okay?
I gotta go outside, bro.
And Susan and I literally looked at each other and had that. is this a put on? Like, really? And we said, yeah, that's fine. We'll sit outside.
And did it look crowded? Like, did it look like she wasn't lying?
We never even got inside. We never even, and so
they didn't even let him in. They
the
didn't even let him in.
windows are tinted, so you can't see inside the restaurant. So I have no idea what it looks like inside.
They're just standing behind the door. They're holding a handle. Hey, can we just take a peek inside? No.
So we're sitting there, and Henri sees us through the glass, and he comes out. No. Come on inside. And he gives us, and he looks at he kind of goes, yeah, I don't know what's going on with her. I'm like,
New girl.
But she's not.
But that's
she's
here's
been
the
there
thing.
forever.
Here's the thing. I like the not playing. I'd rather not say anything.
Well, no, we didn't.
And let it kind of unfold.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
He hooked us up. He got us inside. He got us to the good spot by the music and everything. It was a wonderful night, but
Yeah.
it's that same thing. Like you and I are a lot alike in these situations. I have been here before, and I know I don't want to sit out here. I want to sit inside. Never going to do that.
Do we want to tell more restaurant food stories? Let's
Keep going.
sprinkle it in. Let's sprinkle it in. I got a story for you yesterday. I think you'll be very appreciative of it, but I almost don't want to do it right now. I want to get into some of this stuff, and then I'll sprinkle it in a little bit.
Do you want to get into the fact that their season's over? Do you want to get into the fact that Sean McVay apparently went insane? And
I was already
decided to run
mentally
it
there
on
2 weeks ago.
Third and 5. I know you are. I'm there today. Or actually, I was there yesterday about 4:30. Right at about 4:30, I'm like, what is going on? There were so many things in that Rams game yesterday that were
At least Jalen
beyond
Ramsey believes in the team.
So this, to me, is by far the biggest takeaway after they lost. Not just that they're 3-5, not that their playoff hopes are basically extinguished at this point, but rather that Jalen Ramsey gave voice to the frustration that I'm sure every player on the defensive side of the ball is feeling.
Defense should not have had to go back on the field. Gotta have some dogs who gonna go get it. Be like we shouldn't come to the sideline after a big stop like that, and our coaches or the other side or whoever telling us, man, we gonna need y'all one more time. We're gonna need y'all one more time. Like what the? We made a big stop, turnover on downs with a minute and some change left, and no timeouts for nobody. You gotta have some dogs. It's like, man, all that. We gonna end this game right now.
Well, where do you want to start with that?
Okay,
I mean,
I think I know.
There's
I think I know
four
where I wanna
different
start.
things that are amazing in
I
there.
think I know where to start. So, he's not wrong about what he said. Jalen Ramsey is calling out the offense. Jalen Ramsey is calling out Sean McVay. Jalen Ramsey is calling out anybody that has anything to do with putting up points or going to go get a first down. He's not wrong. The first thing that goes to my mind is it's less to do with, well, I mean, listen, he's making a good point. You had given up 9 points up to that point. You should have already won. He's not wrong in anything that he said. Trav, what does that tell you about a franchise when one of the more popular vocal players is not having that conversation in the locker room where there's no reporters? No, let me put this on blast to everyone. I want everyone to hear what I got to say. What that tells me is that's a locker room that in the past, if you felt like, man, that thing is connected.
Yep.
You know, these guys, you're going to have issues. Nobody's saying you're not going to have issues, but you're going to have those issues behind closed doors. What you're not going to do is you just wait until that camera gets in front of me. I'm going to blast each one of these guys in the process. That's the thing I most take of it. Jalen Ramsey was okay to blast everyone publicly.
That's a good point. The fact that he basically is saying it's not us, it's them, which is a huge problem because once they have that fracture, it's very hard to put it back together. But it's not just that. For me, did you hear what he said? We got to have some dogs out there. That means they don't. That means that he's saying we don't have anybody that's got that thing, that's got that, let it hang mentality, that's got that, we got to go out there and move you back a few yards.
Go tell them.
Here's the thing. I bet you he did.
Yeah?
I bet you he has. I bet you they've heard it, and it's one of these things. I can say it privately over and over again, and now it's not getting any results. Maybe if I do it publicly, I'll get something different.
What if, hypothetically, okay? Jalen Ramsey has dropped some balls in this season where you're like, man, you got to make that catch. That's a pick right there could be big. Just let me explain.
Yeah.
So it'd be okay if Cooper Kupp goes up in front of a microphone and says, that play that Ramsey dropped the ball, that could be a key difference in this game. Of course it's not okay.
If he was dropping the ball every week, yes.
Okay,
it
how
would
about
be okay.
How about this? How about you played 59 minutes of flawless football on the defensive side and couldn't stop Tom Brady for 35 seconds to go get 7? Can I say that? I could say that as well.
What are you talking about?
That defense played flawless
Yeah.
for 59 minutes of the game.
Right.
Correct?
Right.
In the last 35 seconds of the game, Tom Brady drove what to go get a touchdown and end the
60
game?
yards, yeah.
There could be anybody within that coaching staff say, did you guys just give up a touchdown to Tom Brady?
That's insane.
60.
You're
You went 60
accurate.
yards
No,
in 35 seconds?
I get what you're saying, and I get
He
that you're
shouldn't
making
say
two-
anything public.
Oh, no, man.
He shouldn't say anything public.
Al, stop, man.
He shouldn't.
You need to understand that human beings have emotions. They get angry. They get
Go
upset.
have that conversation
No,
in the
come on,
locker room.
brother. You can't be this naive. You can't be naive that when I'm out there bleeding and sweating and fighting and doing all these things for, what do we got? We got September, October, 2.5 months.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing keeps happening every week. Eventually, I'm going to be pissed and I'm going to say something.
That shows to me that
it's not. But people,
it's not connected anymore.
Of course, it's not.
That's what it shows to me.
But yes, but that he said it is not surprising. When you go through fights like this and the same problem every week, eventually people get frustrated and angry and they lash out and they say something. It's human. It's normal. It might not be the air quote right thing to do, but people don't do the right thing every time. They get mad. He's pissed. He called them not dogs. He's angry that they went out there and did it. He's angry at his coach. He's angry at the offense. He's angry, and he should be, because that was a pathetic performance.
They didn't lose the game. Obviously, they lost the game because Tom Brady has the final drive for a touchdown. However, they didn't lose the game because of the defense.
I agree with that.
They didn't lose the game because of the defense.
I agree with that.
But they did lose the game in that final drive. But they didn't lose the game because of the defense.
They lost the game because they didn't get a single first down in the fourth quarter. They lost the game because
they're playing scared.
They lost their courage at the most important moment on 3rd and 5. They lost the game because they can't run. They lost the game because they can't block. The defense gave up a couple of big plays.
I'm not trying to go at the defense because it would be ludicrous to go. It'd be ludicrous to go towards the defense. That's saying,
why they're so angry.
I'm just saying that the defense did not lose them the game, but they drove 60 yards in 35
you don't really
seconds.
believe that.
Of course I do. Why wouldn't I believe that?
Because they played nearly perfect football for 98%.
What does it matter if you play perfect football and you give up a touchdown with 35 seconds left? What does it matter?
I need one person to do one thing in the other 98. And
Sean McVay lost the game.
No question.
And so
the offense lost the game. He's a part of the offense.
I don't want to go. It's kind of funny because we're going at the defense. I am as if the defense lost the game.
I was going to say,
they did not lose the game.
Your jump off is on the defense is insane to me.
They did not lose the game.
They had nothing to do with the loss of the game yesterday.
They did have something to do with it.
No, they didn't. They got a stop on the 7-yard line on 4th down to get off the field. Give me one first down.
Oh, get a first down.
You can't. They were on the field the entire second half. Eventually, Tom Brady's going to make a play.
The problem is, it's not even that you don't get the first down. You're not trying to get the first down. That's the problem.
Of
the
course.
issue is, so we could do this. We do this comeback.
It's both of those things that you said. It's not that they didn't get it. It's that they tried to not get it. We'll do that next. It's an unbelievably
I like
unsatisfying.
yelling at you.
It's fun. You should do it more often.
like
That's
yelling
great.
at
You were looking at me. You're yelling. You're all fired up
Can I
about
throw something
totally
soft?
the wrong thing.
What
too.
if I throw the
That was
mic
the best
cover?
part. The defense.
No, it's just you're making it sound like the defense. They
had
had
nothing to do with it.
All they had
They
to
had
do is
nothing to do
all they
with
had
it.
to do with they had 44 seconds to get a stop. That's all they had to do. Just don't let him in the end zone. It's not their fault. But you had 44 seconds to just make sure Tom Brady doesn't drive 60 yards and do it so perfectly and easily. What were they doing on defense?
They had one. I'll give them one mistake that they made was the first play on that drive where they go up. I think it was 28 yards.
But even after that, they're giving out like 8 and 10, and it's just to the sideline. They're going out of bounds.
Did you see? Did you need to go back and watch it again because you watch? We'll come back and do this because there were a couple of things that were so you could see it coming. You could see it coming at about the 4-minute mark. We'll do it next.
This might be because of the Lakers. I'm letting it all out.
I don't blame you at all. Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
All right, stream live sports and original content with ESPN Plus today. Look what you get. You get access to the
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
Hey, Rams fans, Travis Rogers here. You have got to get the new ESPNLA app. In fact, let's go down to the locker room and get a little help.
What's up, Rams fans? This is Matthew Stafford. React to the Rams on the new ESPNLA app.
This is Cooper Kupp of the Los Angeles Rams. Listen to all your Rams talk on the ESPNLA app.
You are just one tap away from Rams All Access. Travis and Slee, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. Download it now on the App Store or Google Play.
Into the one here?
I have not. I've been to Mastro's, but not that one.
So they have one they opened up before, I want to say, the basketball season started.
Relatively recently.
Pretty recently. So it's open here in downtown. And it's kind of funny. God bless my girl for dealing with me. Go to Mastro's. Just a heads up here, whatever parking is at SoFi, it's not that far off. Yeah, it's not that far off. But it has nothing.
Walking distance
but it has
from here?
nothing to do with them.
Could you not walk from here? It's pretty close. It's what, 10-minute walk?
Dressed up, she's in heels.
Okay.
I don't want to kind of go through the process. So we pull in, get down to Mastro's, and we had a nice dinner. So we did the ribeye.
Okay.
The cowboy.
Thought you said you were going to go for the seafood tower, and I was going to be very impressed.
No.
That's enough to feed like 12 people.
Well, this one is. Do you know how big the cowboy ribeye is?
How big?
33 ounces.
That's enough for four people.
It's a lot of steak.
Yes,
you don't need that. However, we're just going to have it in there to cut it up, take some home. Rookie, you want a little piece? A little piece in there in the morning. Or
Come with the bone?
at night. Yeah, it comes with a bone, too.
Okay.
He's not having that. That's mine. I'll have that later today. I had to be sort of...
I can picture you sitting on your couch just kind of
no question
Fred Flintstoning
Yeah.
it, just gnawing on the bone.
That will happen. All right, so Titans-KC game is going on. Good game.
You think?
Good game.
Do you know who had KC in the
I
eliminator
knew
pool
exactly.
last
I know
night?
exactly. I knew exactly. How about I had a setup going on here at the table, and this is why I go back to God bless my girl for just being open and okay with this. Had the bread basket, okay? On the bread basket was the phone. Had KC, Tennessee.
Okay.
going on while that's going on. In front of that was the steak to the sides. And there we are eating, having a glass of wine, watching the game.
That's your birthday.
And she was like, do your thing.
It's your birthday. You get to watch a little football,
She started asking a lot of questions. You know, they go to overtime.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden, this is like a whole new thing for her where she's like, all right, so is it
do they get the ball?
First team wins?
Right.
You know what I mean? So there's a lot of those questions going on. Do you ever do that at restaurants?
Never one time in my entire life.
Started to do that more and more.
Yeah, no, I've never. No.
World Series was on.
That
during
would not go over well.
It would not go well for Susan.
It would not. It would not go. I would never want to do it. I would never ask to do it. But in the event, like if it was Game 7 of the World Series and the Dodgers were in it, and I did it, it would be okay.
Can I tell you something?
Football game would not.
Can I tell you something? It took nothing away from the whole thing.
Yeah.
We were having kind of just a good conversation. The game was on in the back. Like I don't know. We felt like right at home.
We could
Shout out
have
to
got it to go. You should have gotten 68 ounce. No, it's really good.
Yeah,
the 68-ounce ribeye to go. Just get in a little plastic container. It's sticking out the sides the whole way along the way. Sean McVay's decision. Let's go back. They get the ball back. They get a stop on 4th down.
Yep.
They keep Tampa out of it. By the way, lucky because Scotty Miller dropped a sure touchdown. So they got a little lucky. They get the ball back. They run it on 1st down for no gain. They run a jet sweep to Cooper Kupp on 2nd down for a 5-yard gain, and he slides because he doesn't want to go out of bounds.
Yeah, and he doesn't want a 1st down.
Doesn't want the clock to stop.
Yeah.
But to your point, put your face in there, see what you can get. Instead of 3rd and 5, maybe we get a 3rd and 2. Maybe he gets it. Maybe there's room to the inside. Even if he gets shoved out of bounds, you have less yardage. And now you have a chance to kind of get set up and get ready to go. I think that every Rams fan at that moment was thinking, you paid Cooper Kupp a lot of money. You've paid Matthew Stafford a lot of money. 3rd and 5 to win the game. Kupp, or I should say Stafford to Kupp, it's a no-brainer. Let's go do it. And you said it when we were talking this morning. If he gets sacked there, who cares? You're going to punt it away anyway. They'll have to use the timeout. If it's incomplete, at least you're trying to win the game. They put their tail between their legs and just ran it into the pile and punted it away. It was shocking how little aggression they showed with the game on the line. Because to your point about the defense, they'd been great all day long. They were on the field the entire second half. They were out there. They were dog tired. Very, very rarely do you see Aaron Donald standing up straight. Just
at
panting.
some point, you're going to break.
Of course,
like
especially with Tom Brady,
it's going to happen.
It's going to happen. They kept him out of the end zone the entire day. He'd scored 9 points. Why don't you take your offense and take a shot to end the game right there? Darrell Henderson hadn't done anything. Cam Akers hadn't done anything. We're just going to run it into the pile and punt it away.
Okay.
It was a terrible
Here's
decision.
my question for you. What happened to Sean McVay? Why all of a sudden is he scared to go win the game? What happened to the Sean McVay of, I'm going to put my foot on your throat. The game is over. What happened to that?
Well, okay.
Because let me tell you what yesterday's that final drive was. That final drive was as simple as this. And this isn't the first time. You remember last year, Niners and the Rams, the last game of the regular season, that was going to also determine, are you having home? They got lucky because the Packers lost to the Niners and they got that game at SoFi again. But there was a lot going on in that final game. And there was a very similar situation where Sean McVay was playing not to lose. Okay? That moment, those 3 plays, maybe Jalen Ramsey was pissed because of this. You know what those 3 plays said? Those 3 plays were your season. So, McVay, you have a decision to make. You can either use your 3 downs, and you want to run the ball, you can run the ball. Nobody's saying don't. But if you want to go use those 3 downs to go get a 1st down, the game's over, and you still have a chance to go make the playoffs. But if this ends right here, you give Tom Brady the ball one more time, even though there wasn't that much time left.
44 seconds.
You can end the game. The game's going to end. The Cooper Kupp makes no sense to me. Cooper Kupp sliding, that's on Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp, you want to stay in bounds, stay in bounds. Put your shoulder down, which, by the way, Cooper Kupp.
Turn it back in.
Cooper Kupp, isn't that what he does all the time?
How many times have you heard me say, dude, get out of bounds?
100%. The guy likes the contact.
Yes.
He goes and gets that extra couple of yards.
It was too cute. It was too cute by half.
That's on Cooper Kupp right there. However, the final play, the 3rd down, Trav, you throw an incomplete pass, there's one timeout left. Who the hell cares? You at least tried to win the game.
Yeah.
That handoff was basically just saying, we are punting the ball.
Yes. Of course it is. Of course it is.
So your whole season, it goes on that one drive. Why did McVay all of a sudden become a scared coach? I really don't understand that.
I don't know if the one in San Francisco that you're talking about a year ago, Week 18, made a little bit more sense to me because it's Jimmy Garoppolo needing to go 80 yards. I'll take my chances, okay?
But even a Garoppolo can do that.
Fair enough, but it's Jimmy Garoppolo. I'll take my chances. Tom Brady, I'm not taking my chances with Tom Brady. I'm not doing it. It's Tom Brady.
Garoppolo is Montana against
You're not wrong.
The Rams.
It's Jimmy Garoppolo. The difference between Garoppolo and Brady, I don't have to explain that to you, right? There's a million miles of difference. Sean McVay isn't what you think that he was in those situations. Sean McVay is not the guy that goes for it on fourth down over and over again. Sean McVay is not the guy that goes for that kill shot that you're talking about. Occasionally, yes, but he far more often does what we saw in San Francisco, far more often does what we saw yesterday, that he's aggressive in his play calling, but at those particular moments, he's typically more reserved. He's typically more cautious than I think a lot of other NFL coaches. And yesterday, it wasn't just caution. It was what you said. It was a
scared
decision
not to lose.
Yes, that's exactly what it was.
I want the clock. I'm just looking at the clock. Is it ticking? Is it ticking?
I said this to Kirk yesterday. Tampa's approach was, give me one more shot. The Rams' approach was, get to 0-0. And that never, ever works.
Even if, we say this on the McVay side, no one's saying, how many times have we talked about Brandon Staley and we're like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's
You're at your
stupid.
own 35. It's 4th and 2. Just punt the ball. Trav, we're not talking about a 4th down call. We're talking about a 3rd down call. It's 3rd and 5. Go get a first.
It told everyone on that offensive side of the ball, I have no faith in you. I do not believe that you are good enough not to make this worse. We're going to put it back in the hands of the defense again, and the defense finally blinked. They finally blinked.
Well, the defense also then became hey, let's just let the clock run out.
It was bad.
The defense became the offense in that final drive where you're like, hey, just keep everybody in front of you.
Honestly, It was the first play that cost them the game.
Yeah.
It was that very
What'd
first
they pick
play.
up on the first
28 yards.
Yeah.
28 yards. They on one play, and it only took something like 8 seconds.
Set
it
the
was
table.
Just boom, and
Set
now
the table.
you get to spike it, you get to clock it, and all of these things. It was a disaster. And not only was it a bad call, not only was it a bad game, it really is. Now you're 3-5. You got 9 games left. If you go 6-3, you're 9-8.
Yeah.
You're not going 6.
This is not a good comp, but I'm going to just point this out here because it was on Saturday night and it was an amazing game. Alabama's playing LSU.
Mm-hmm.
They're in overtime, and Alabama scores, so now they're up 7. LSU scores, and I'm not telling you got to do this every time, but LSU decided we're going to win or lose right here.
Yep.
We're gonna win or lose right here. By the way, LSU already had 2 losses, so they're thinking in their mind
they don't have anything to lose other than the game.
House money.
Right.
Either we kind of change the program and go. I thought yesterday was a moment for Sean McVay of, guys, the season is on the line. We're gonna go get that first down.
It's what I would have thought he would have done. It's what I think he should have done, and I'd be really hard pressed to believe that in the cold hard light of the next morning he doesn't know that he should have done it. Look, he made a mistake, but he's not dumb. He has to. That was a huge mistake. It was because Jalen Ramsey is saying it's a huge mistake. While he's calling out the offense, he's calling out the head coach.
I think he's calling out the head coach.
Of course he is.
I think he's calling out the head coach.
That is where are dogs? That's not just the guys up front, the wide receivers or the quarterback. That's the head coach. Dude, are we trying to win this or not?
No.
They weren't. They were trying
not to lose.
And we know what happens when that happens. Ask Slee. Coming up next, it's Travis Slee, 710 ESPN. Hey, Rams fans, Travis Rogers here. You have got to get the new ESPNLA app. In fact, let's go down to the locker room and get a little help.
What's up, Rams fans? This is Matthew Stafford. React to the Rams on the new ESPNLA app.
This is Cooper Kupp of the Los Angeles Rams. Listen to all your Rams talk on the ESPNLA app.
You are just one tap away from Rams All Access. Travis and Slee, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. Download it now on the App Store or Google Play.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Flea right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
It's Sliwa on 710 ESPN.
Does he go out and hunt for it, or will he Instacart it? Hashtag Ask Slee.
Time for the segment everyone loves. Time for the segment Los Angeles loves. Ask Slee.
Ask Slee.
And Ask Slee this morning is presented by Harrah's Resort SoCal. Voted best resort in Futter, California. From dining to unwinding, a trip to Futter, California is always a win. Are you game for a getaway? Start planning your trip by visiting harrahssocal.com. And it is time for Ask Slee.
877-710 ESPN is the phone number if you'd like to get in on the phones for your Ask Slee.
By the way, quick shout out. So ESPNLA on YouTube as well. We know a lot of people are commenting on there, so keep doing it. We'll kind of read those off too as we go.
We got Ask Slees on YouTube?
I'll see here. We'll see. They're just, they're passionate fans that are letting their thoughts out on sports stuff. We'll get to if there's an Ask Slee.
I'm less interested in that. I'm more interested in the Ask Slee portion of it.
All right, YouTube, send some Ask Slees.
Send them along the way. I know you don't know the answer to this. Okay. I don't know the answer to this. Taylor, I don't think knows the answer to this. So I'm going to make this an Ask Emily real quick.
Which, by the way, we need to pick a day and do an Ask Emily.
Yes, we've done that, right? We did it before.
We have, and then people didn't step up.
Yeah, but look how long it's been.
We'll do it again. All right, this is from Steve Chong, and Steve writes, I'm going to edit a little bit. Emily, off the top of your head, because we're 100% no.
Yeah.
Do you know Trav's and Taylor's and Alan's birthdays?
Okay, so it was. So Alan's was yesterday, obviously, November 6th.
Yep, got that one out of the way.
November 20th, Travis.
Close, but
22nd?
Yeah, 22nd.
Okay, 22nd. Taylor is January 10th, 11th, or 13th?
15.
15, dang it. I
Very
knew it was
close.
that range.
That was close.
Let me tell you
that
something.
was really, really
Even
good.
though you threw out multiple
What
dates.
is my birthday?
Even though you threw out multiple dates, that was great.
Hold on.
Yeah.
That's the...
Yeah.
I'm just going to... I don't know.
It's like 3 months ago.
I don't know what it is. Do you have any idea, Al?
was 4 months ago.
Emily, what is your birthday?
It's June 6th. I was born on 666.
Oh, so
Come
that's
on.
easy to remember.
Oh.
That's easy to remember.
All right, we got that one down.
Yeah.
We got that one down.
I knew that I knew yours was yesterday because it was yesterday. I don't know when Taylor's is. I don't know when Emily's is.
That's okay.
I'm not good at that game. Good job, Emily. I thought you'd be able to bail us out right there. All right, here. Since the jackpot crossed $1 billion, how much have you spent on Powerball tickets, and how much have you won? Hashtag Ask Slee.
I have a theory here. Isn't it like 1.9 billion?
Yeah.
Somebody win it
Close
yet?
to
Or?
2.
Okay,
No,
so,
they did not.
So there's a reason why. This is my own thought process, okay? It's similar to, if you go to Vegas and you start seeing what these casinos looked like 25 years ago, there's a reason why they're doing really well. There's a reason why they keep having the ability to add 800 more rooms every couple of years. So I have decided not to contribute to the Powerball because I'm literally just giving my money to the Powerball.
Yeah.
I don't think they need any more money. And I get people that are, I'm in with 10 other people. Cool, go do your thing. Go do your thing.
Look, I have never bought a Powerball ticket in my life. Driving in this morning, the billboards, they have the number up there. I saw the 1.9 billion. I'm like, I think I'm gonna have to buy. It's stupid.
It's the best marketing you can possibly do. Hey guys, they didn't win again, huh?
What is a Powerball ticket? I want to say is $5, right? Does anybody know? Have any of you guys
I don't know
bought
off the
one?
top of my head. I've never bought
I
it.
never bought one.
Yeah, I think they're $5. I don't think they're like the dollar scratcher kind of things. But I think for the first time ever, I'm going to give it a shot.
Go get in there.
For no reason other than it seems
to
like
help the Powerball community.
Just who knows, right? There's no reason. I would be the same odds of me lighting a $5 bill on fire.
Yes.
But I can at least watch the drawing, I guess.
How does, you and I don't know how it works, so we need to get somebody who's an employee of Powerball. How much are they going to make on this? How much do they make? So they're giving out the 1.9. What do
I
you
have
think
no
is
idea
their
how-
return?
Don't
on
they
investment?
donate to schools? Or
The
that's what,
California lottery does. I don't know if
okay.
because the Powerball, the big one, that's
Yeah.
like multi-states, right? That's like
Yeah,
the whole country along the way.
All right, good luck.
I
but at least
should I
you're
just
still
give
alive,
you the
Travis.
$5. What's that?
You're still alive in the survivor pool, at least.
I am still alive in the survivor
Were you
pool.
sweating it yesterday?
Oh, for
can
sure.
I just say this on, I know it has nothing to do with anything. How good of a football game was that?
Last night?
I just like, look, I like games like that. I like Tennessee to me just kind of said, hey, we can hang with any team in the playoffs. They're probably not going to go beat the Chiefs or the Bills, but I like games like that.
You can have them. They're all yours.
I don't need
Didn't Willis,
35,
throw the ball,
32.
5 times?
I don't need
Malik-
35, too.
Malik Willis.
But it was like
had like 80 yards passing.
But everything was so strategic. The fact that they held
Boring.
Mahomes the way they held Mahomes, it's the same as a pitching duel. You don't like a pitching duel?
Not very often.
I'll take.
Not very often. I'll take 6-4.
I'll take 3-2. I'm okay with the 3-2.
Yeah, 3-2's okay, but you're talking Malik Willis had a 1-0 last night. That's dreadful. They had Patrick Mahomes, I think what it was.
Cutting
he
into
threw
my steak yesterday.
60 times? I think he had 60 passing attempts. I think Willis had like 15. It's like, this is ridiculous. Let's just have one team play all offense, the other team play all defense. No, you can have those along the way, Slee. Right here. Where's my next one? They disappear on me. We already did that one. My whole thing is messing up on me, Slee, here. Here we go. No, this is the wrong one.
I haven't asked Slee.
Hit me up, Emily.
All right. Hashtag Ask Slee.
Okay.
Did you get anything fun for your birthday? Did you get any presents from Lady Slee or anybody else in your life that you liked?
So I'm going to see my family this upcoming weekend because Lakers had games. Lady Sleet, she did a lot of clothing stuff. Which,
for you?
Yeah, which nice. I'm a fan of. She
casual or nice?
More casual.
Okay.
Yeah, more casual. Which is
more national parks things.
No national parks.
Sweatshirt?
This I've had for a little bit. More casual stuff. There's a brand I didn't even know about. There's a brand out in Encinitas that's like a really good casual brand, whatever it is. So she bought me some cool stuff.
One more. Darren Pollock. Who wins in a fight between a skunk and a chicken? Hashtag Ask Slee.
Yeah, skunk. You blind the guy, and then from there.
I'm assuming this is poorly written, and I'm assuming he means like a rooster with one of those little claws that where they fight the roosters.
Still blind him.
You still think the chicken?
It's not going to be
gets destroyed?
what's the Bloodsport with Jean-Claude Van Damme when he gets. Do you remember that?
The chalk or the sand or whatever it is.
Gets that in his eyes, and then he backs up, starts figuring out where he's at. I don't think the chicken or the rooster can do that. The skunk's got him on this one.
Skunks are pretty disgusting.
Yeah, they are.
Skunks a skunk would win against a grizzly bear because the grizzly bear would turn around and run away, right? That's the whole point of being loaded up on the skunk.
If I could eliminate an animal, and obviously, like, hopefully environments and ecosystems are fine,
yes,
it would probably be the skunk.
Over ants?
Over ants. Over ants, over spiders,
no,
over mosquitoes.
Roaches are gross. But how often do you encounter a skunk? Not very often, right?
In my area of LA, all the freaking time.
Oh, do you have a bunch of them?
Yes, and I mean, I go to Silver Lake all the time, and they're all over there. In my area, there's one last night.
They're in Torrance too a lot.
Well, I know they're kind of everywhere.
Towards the
but
skunk
I didn't know
community.
that the K-Town was lousy with skunks at the moment
it
in
sucks.
Emily's neighborhood. Little breaking news with the Lakers. We'll give it to you next when we come back. It's Travis Slee, 710 ESPN.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
As we celebrate LAFC hoisting the MLS Cup. Plus, by the way, you can watch Travis and Sliwa today on YouTube. Just go to youtube.com or the YouTube app, search ESPNLA. Bam! There's the show, live and video streaming. Be sure to subscribe too, so you never miss a moment of the shows or Lakers Talk Daily with Slee. Right now, Travis and Sliwa continues on a Championship Monday.
What else did you get other than the big-ass ribeye for your birthday? What sides are we talking about here, Slee? Give me the details. I know this is not your Ballawick.
Let me take over
details
from here,
things,
please. Stop.
Hook
Stop.
me up.
Okay. Did a chopped salad.
Okay. What's in it?
I don't know. I don't know what the hell was in it. There was a lot of stuff. A lot of lettuce,
Carrot,
some olives.
I assume there was some lettuce.
Lettuce, olives, cucumber was in
Any
there
nuts?
as well.
Avocado.
No nuts in there.
I retract the question.
I'm not talking to you.
It's my
Here's the thing.
fault.
I'm not
Tomato?
talking to you.
What'd you get?
There was
Salad. What
there
was
was
in it?
tomatoes in
Oh.
there. I don't pay attention to those details.
I know.
Okay.
It's my fault. I asked a bad
Bread
question.
basket came. Can I say this? The bread is good. However, it takes up a lot of the
bread.
up a lot of the food. Can I go through the order? Do you want the order?
I asked what the sides were. The bread's not a side. That's
I'm
just
telling you
something
what
that's
I
on the
ordered.
table.
Bread can be great.
You ordered bread?
Yeah, you have to order.
Really?
The bread
Wow.
basket you got to order from
What's going on in Masters?
There's like 4 or 5 different breads
They're
on there.
dinging you for parking, dinging you for bread?
Oh, no. It was well worth every penny of it.
I don't know. Not so far, it's not.
I did the cowboy steak. I told you the ribeye, the sides. I did something I don't usually do. I did mac and cheese for the side. I don't usually do that.
That's a lot.
Oh, it's a lot. I did sautéed spinach as well, which
That's
is like
good.
no point of even doing that
Yeah,
because
but that's really good.
It's delicious.
Yeah. They have a little chopped up bacon and shallots in there.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yes
See,
to
these are
both
the
of
details
those.
I want.
I got cheesecake for dessert. Cheesecake was fantastic.
Just straight up regular?
Straight
Is there
up
any
cheesecake.
fruit drizzle on there?
No, it was straight up cheesecake. A little kind of chocolate on the side because they're playing happy birthdays. You could kind of dip a little bit in that chocolate there.
Did they sing to you?
Did you get wine?
No,
Did you have a
didn't sing.
cocktail? Did you have what? I mean,
I told him, I said, I want a glass of Pinot Noir. You picked the glass of wine. He picked the glass of wine.
did they go big on you again?
No, they were reasonable. This wasn't. Remember, that was a different
Right.
place. So he did the right thing. Let me give this server some props here. He did the right thing. He recommended 2, and the price points. One of them was a little bit higher. The other one was more reasonable. And from there, I'm like, you pick between the 2.
Yeah.
Like I like that he did that. He didn't
Professional
just
waiter.
go to the cream
Not
of
like
the.
your pizza guy's like, you ever been here before? This guy knows what he's doing. He knows
Where's
how
he
to
from?
work a ticket.
Where's he from?
Where's who from?
Say
He's from Pasadena. He's local. I grew up over there. I know what they
He
sound
sounded like he was from the Midwest,
No.
and he ran a farm.
No, I that's my neck of the woods. That's where I spent my formative years.
Do the voice again.
You ever been here before?
Sounds like he drives an F-350.
You went from around here.
No, what it is boredom, right? That he's like, this is a guy that, how many times you say him 4 or 5?
Easily 4 times.
Okay, 4 times.
Easily 4 times.
You ever been here before? Yeah.
What if he knows I've been there and he just does that every time?
Then I'm on his side.
I know.
That's the difference.
But I don't think
if he's, but
no,
see,
it's
that's
just-
self-defeating.
You could tell, but you could tell his body language. Yeah, you had no idea.
You can tell when somebody recognizes you or not. And not you specifically. You know if somebody there's that.
Oh,
there's-
you came to this restaurant again.
That's one of those. You've been in here before, right? You get a little bit of that flicker of recognition. Breaking news on 710 is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change, home of the 15-minute drive-through oil change. Visit SoCalOilChange.com for locations and coupons today. No LeBron tonight in Utah. He is out with left foot soreness. No Lonnie Walker is also out. No Patrick Beverly. He is also out. Both of them are on the non-COVID illness list. So Lakers are going to be a little shorthanded, and Anthony Davis is dealing with a tight back per usual.
They got beat up bad over the weekend.
Like physically or
No.
just result-wise?
The Utah Jazz. Remember when you and I, before the season started, we started looking at that schedule, and we started looking at, hey, what are the games in this tough 10, 15-game stretch? It was really just the first 10 games. You're like, where are they going to get some W's here? He had Golden State on their Clippers, Denver twice. One of those was the Utah Jazz that we would look at, Trav. And the Utah Jazz was the team that you thought, Utah and Portland, you're like, I think they could get some W's here.
Okay.
Utah's 8-3.
Unreal.
And they handled the Lakers. They gave up. Do you know how many points the Lakers gave up on Friday night to the Utah Jazz? Pick a number. Just say a number.
I actually do know.
Okay.
It was, what, 127?
130.
130, yeah.
They gave up to the Jazz.
Yeah.
And can I tell you something? That wasn't one of those where you're like, well, if they just make that correction, they'll be fine. No, the Jazz put up 130 on them. Put up 130. Yesterday, they took on the Cavs. And I've heard this a couple times over the weekend. I heard the Lakers complimenting the other team like, hey, you have to understand something. That's a really good Cleveland Cavaliers team.
LeBron was talking about that.
Hey, that's, that Jazz team, if you thought they were going to tank, no, that's a really good Utah Jazz team. Trev, I get it. I understand that those are pretty good teams as well. They're 2-7. They're 2-7.
Yeah. Yeah. No, the argument can't be, hey, we're 2-7, but we played really good teams. So what? So have some other teams. There's a lot of good teams in the NBA. The NBA is deep. You're going to play good teams pretty regularly. You're going to have to find a way to beat them.
And I'll just be as completely honest as possible. That Pelicans win they got was the most lucky thing that you can possibly have to have a dude miss 2 free throws when you're up 3 with under 2 seconds, and Matt Ryan, it's a fadeaway 3. They could be
1-100.
They could be 1-8 right now.
Yeah.
Okay, they're 2-7. There's a couple things that went on over the weekend. that is really tough to swallow, but I think it's just the reality. They're not in the class of the Utah Jazz.
Okay, can I turn it on?
They're not in the class of the Cavs one. I actually think the Cavs are a good team. Lakers were outscored by 20 in the second half by the Cleveland Cavaliers. They were outscored 56-36 in the second half. My man, I don't know what to tell you, but this is a team.
They're just not good. There's no secret. They're not very good. They're not dreadful. You know what I mean? Their shooting has kind of come back to where you think it would be. They're about 30% from behind.
And now their
line.
defense all of a sudden
their offense is really kind of inept. That defensive emphasis that they've had for the season, it's still there, but it's really hard to bear down on that end and know that you're not going to get points on the other end. They just don't have the firepower. They just don't have the horsepower necessary to win a bunch of games in the NBA. They're competing. I think that Darvin Ham is doing a good job.
Yeah.
I like that he put Russell Westbrook on the second unit. I like that he's coming off the bench. That seems to be a win for Westbrook and the team. There are some things there. This isn't anything other than they're just not good enough.
Yeah.
And much like the Rams when you watch a place here, this isn't we'll get this guy back or that. You look at it like, yeah, this isn't good enough because you're talking, look, Cleveland's fine. Cleveland's not going to win an NBA championship. Utah's fine. They're off to a really nice start. They're not going to win an NBA championship. The teams that you're talking about, not you, but that they're talking about, this guy's good and that guy, they're okay.
But here's the funny thing. They're not wrong with what they're saying, but what I'm saying in my head is like, okay, but how does that make you feel? Like there's nobody here that's going to sit there and say, oh, okay, you know what? That's a good point. That team is better.
Their level, unfortunately, is that next level down. Their level is Detroit, Orlando, Houston, OKC. These are the teams that they're on a level with. The difference between most of those teams and the Lakers aren't there on purpose. Those other teams are there on purpose. Those other teams are there to collect losses, to get picks, to get ping pong balls,
strategically
to try
there.
to get back to the top. The Lakers are not. They don't even have. They have a pick swap.
You said something. You said something that's the most important thing. This is just they don't have enough guys. They don't have
enough talent.
They don't have enough talent. They got to make a trade. I'm not kidding. They got to make a trade.
I can't imagine a worse idea.
Trev.
To go from 11th to 9th?
No. You got to be competitive.
Why?
Because you're trying to be competitive. Because you have LeBron on your roster for 2 more years. Because Anthony Davis is on your roster for a couple more years.
Ugh.
You have to be competitive. They're 2-7 out the gate here. And you said something that I couldn't agree more with. They don't got talent.
No.
There's just not enough players on this team to look at and say, you know what, I think this guy can go get us a game. I think that guy might go get us a game. Okay, how about this? How about not individual talent? How did the Utah Jazz beat the Lakers? You know how they beat them? They got 6-7 guys that score in double figures. I'm not. My goal is not to use the Utah Jazz as the class of the NBA. Okay, it's not. It's Lauri Markkanen. It's Jordan Clarkson. It's Mike Conley. It's Colin Sexton. It's guys that nobody's going to really look at. But you know what they do? I don't know who's going to score. I don't know who to defend because these guys are cutting the entire time. They're very, very well coached. They're a brand new team that how sometimes we say you got to give a team time. I'm not opposed to that. I agree that teams need time. Have the Utah Jazz had a season to all play together? Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert were traded in the summer. Quinn Snyder was walked away and said, all right, well, this isn't the position for me. They went out and got a new president of basketball operations that gutted their team for 8 first-round picks. Mm-hmm. They're 8-3. They beat the Clippers yesterday, beat the Lakers on Friday. I don't disagree with you that talent that you're referring to, I know your kind of thought process is, well, why are you going to go make a trade? And you go make a trade, and now you're marginally better, and it doesn't really kind of take care of everything. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying go make a trade just to do it. What I'm saying is what you're saying. They don't have enough talent. They need more talent.
Well, of course they do, but they're not going to get that talent through the trades that have been bandied about. That Buddy Hield and Miles Turner make them better. They have more talent at that point, but they're not dangerous. They're better. But again, the Lakers,
it helps you create a team.
It maybe, but this team isn't going to be the team a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now. This is a team that is in need of a complete overhaul. This is a team that this idea, well, we got it. LeBron blank. We got 2 years of LeBron. Here's LeBron. Guys, LeBron James is still a good player. LeBron James is not the guy that we're thinking of in our heads. He's still good. He's still effective. He's not that guy anymore.
I'm done thinking 3 years down the road. I really am. I'm done
you're
thinking
gonna
3 years down the road.
Exactly where you are
Here's
right
the problem.
now, or a little better.
But why
for
would
the
you
foreseeable
think?
future?
Why would you think 3 years down the road when they're thinking of today, anyways? So why are you going to? LeBron just signed an extension with the Lakers.
Right.
So how can you not be thinking about today? How can you not be finding ways? But
at
then,
some point, you have to realize that this is not going to turn around with this group. We need to start thinking about the next group, which is why there are conversations, how real they are, who knows, about trading Anthony Davis, about making, LeBron James at the end of the year. What do you do there? There are other options that are not just, run it back again. Let's put AD and LeBron together and surround them with 8 or 10 other people. At some point, LeBron and AD are not good enough.
I want to talk about
that's the scary part.
Can we talk about AD when we come back? Because I got some stats for you.
Only if we're talking about his second half performances, because I don't get it.
Yeah,
I just do not get how. Because first half yesterday, pretty good, right? I mean, not lights out Giannis good, but good enough. And then the second half is just all over the place.
Yeah.
We'll do that next.
Now
It's
you got me
Travis
pissed
Lee.
off. Why were you yelling at me?
I'm not. I'm just telling you things you don't want to hear. I'm saying them with a smile on my face.
They got to make a trade.
They need to adjust what they have. That's not a trade. That's next. It's Travis Lee.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Flea right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
the MLS Cup.
Ilya, the right foot. They did it.
What a Saturday it was at Banc of California Stadium. Congratulations, LAFC. Travis and Sliwa continues your Monday right now.
Congratulations indeed for LAFC. What an unbelievable show on Saturday afternoon. Not just a championship winning performance, but how they won.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, they go up, they tie, they fall behind in extra time, they tie it up in extra time. It goes, there's a terrible injury. It goes to PKs, just the whole thing. And again,
they get their first PK stopped.
Oh.
And now you're thinking like, all right, well, Philly's got the advantage, and before you know it, Philly didn't hit one PK, did they? No, I don't think they hit one.
No,
one went over, a couple blocked, yeah.
You and I are probably not the right people to have this conversation as
completely,
non-soccer people.
Completely disagree.
I can't imagine if the NBA Finals at the end of an overtime say, all right, we're going to do a free throw shooting contest to see who wins the title. Or at the end of the 12th inning in a baseball game, you're like, all right.
First one to get a single.
Home run derby. Okay, you pick your 5 best guys. It's a really weird way.
Do you like it?
It's exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's terribly exciting, but I would understand the argument of why that's not the best way to do it.
I don't like it. It's funny. Michael and I were talking about it pregame yesterday, and he said it's the most exciting thing. One of the most exciting things in sports is do the penalty kick. I just feel like it's not. I hate that it comes down to that. Like, here you are playing 120 minutes of one style of the game, and now all of a sudden all of that doesn't matter, and it's just you and the. I mean, I get you don't want them to play 150 minutes.
No, and that's the argument against it is what you want them to run out there for 3 days in a row
Yes.
and nobody can score.
Yes.
But it just brings in such a level of randomness where the keeper is basically going left or right, and if they guess
the right way, or the dude
one,
missed and hit the crossbar.
It's all that.
There's no
said,
pressure in that when they do that in the World Cup.
And again. This is not my number one sport, but I'm watching it just riveted to see what's going to happen next. It is incredibly exciting. Congratulations to LAFC. The trophy is making its way in here today, and Mario said we're going to have a very special guest at some point today. So looking forward to that.
Just real quick, are we going to you're going to take I'd say I'll take it home today, the trophy. You take it home tomorrow. Taylor grab it for a couple of days, and we'll bring it back end of the week.
Emily gets it for a weekend.
Try to drink out of it. You can do all that good stuff. So PKs are the most fun, like, mental thing ever. So I was a goalie for most of my life. So I loved being in PKs. I have this story from one time when I was a kid. Maybe I was like 10, 12 years old. We were in PKs, and the other coach on the other team complained that I looked too intimidating to the other team. So I would stand to the side of the goal, and I would cross my arms and try to stare down the other team.
Bad body language, Emily?
Yeah, exactly. But I was trying to, intimidate them. And the coach...
It worked, apparently.
Yeah, the coach complained to the referee, and the referee had me step to the side and turn around.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you.
Yeah, I see.
But we ended up winning.
Did your coach not advocate for you on the spot?
He tried.
He ran out of his... He didn't have another challenge.
This ref was like 15 years old, too, so he was like, what am I going to do with this coach? But we ended up winning, so shout out there.
I like that she's got bad body language off to the side. That's pretty good. We'll have to see if that's what they do in MLS. World Cup starts in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So we got a little more.
It's very normal
football
to start
coming
in
up along
November.
the way. Okay, you ready? Quick question for you.
Okay.
I escaped by the skin of my teeth in the eliminator pool last night.
Yeah.
I had KC, and I got very, very lucky that they won that game. The other 2 guys also won. One guy won with Philly. Another guy won with New England. So all 3 of us are going into next week again.
You guys are going to run out of games.
We're getting near the end of the line. Here are the games that are intriguing to me at this point. I don't have to make a pick yet, obviously. But
what was the other game that you were looking at?
Minnesota over Washington.
Okay.
And they won too, but literally last-second field goal, not unlike the other one. Here are the top 2 choices that I have going into this week. I could take the New York Giants, who are coming off of their bye. It's in New York, and they're taking on the Houston Texans, who have won 1 game. Okay. The other one is I could take the Dolphins, who are also at home. They're in Miami. They have not lost a game this season that Tua has started and finished.
Yep.
And they're playing the Cleveland Browns, who are kind of all over the map. They're bad one week, they're okay.
Yeah, it's
another.
easy. I think this one's easy, and you already know. Which one you going?
The Texans one, right?
Yeah,
the Giants over the Texans.
Yeah.
That's what
I would knee-jerk reaction. That's
Niners over the Chargers in San Francisco is a possibility.
No,
that one feels
that
a little
one.
close. And
Yeah.
then Tennessee.
Chargers actually got a good win yesterday, even though they were trying to lose it at the end. But they got a good win over the Falcons.
You
on the
guys
road.
agree? Do you think that? Oh, speaking of that's the way to go to take the Giants over the Texans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I would. The only thing is, you're gonna bet on Daniel Jones and a rookie head coach off of his first bye.
I know.
And that's the only tricky part.
But
and
this
I also,
this is the
I'd
part of
rather
the
do
schedule.
that.
I'm down to those sorts of teams.
Yeah,
I've taken
but I'd
all
rather
the ones
do
that
that.
you would want. I'm picking against Houston.
Right.
That's the pick.
And the
right?
Giants have been good enough to where
Well,
you
they
can
lost 2 games.
Texans
They
look good against Philly.
They did, but that was in Houston. Short week.
They're due for one, I think.
A lot of things. Don't say it like that. Please don't say it.
You know,
like
I
that.
just switched. I'm with Taylor on this
You
one.
know the Giants have lost to? Seattle, really good team.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas, really good team. Their only 2 losses are to good football
I think that
teams.
gut
And
one
they're the New
is
York
the one.
I think so too. Nobody asked about the picks this week.
That doesn't make me feel good all of a sudden. I know I won some games this weekend.
Anybody? Was I the only one that was keeping track? It's the worst week we've had collectively because 2 of the games were pushes, which means we all lose. If it pushes, it's a loss, right? Nobody wins in a push.
SC.
Guess who won the week?
Gosh dang it.
Yes.
You.
No.
Me?
Yes.
No.
Yes. You and Taylor
Happy
pushed.
birthday.
Wow.
You and Taylor pushed for the week. You know how many points you won with? 4.
Wow.
Wow.
You and
lovely.
Taylor both had 4 points. Taylor got 1 game right.
Yep.
His 4-point game. You got 1 game right. Your 4-point game.
I only won. Was it SC?
It was
the
SC.
only one we won?
Yeah, you got Cal covered. Emily, you had 1 point. Sorry.
Bringing up the rear.
You had Cal, but only in the 1, and I only had Jacksonville in my 2. We all won 1 game.
Don't call it a comeback.
Don't call it.
We are streaking, bro.
So there you go. So hold on. Let me do some quick math here. I'll talk for a second. That's you.
Tell more about your dinner last night. Go into more detail about the sides.
Haven't we
and
learned our
everything else.
lesson, Emily?
I want to know more.
I love that. Just the moment you said talk, I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good.
That's how radio works. Is that silence is great.
All right,
for
there. I did my
show.
math. You're good. Thanks for the help, Al.
I got you.
Appreciate that. Way
got
to go.
I got you.
55 is the new lead number. I'm still at the top. Al, Emily, bad news. You've fallen a spot. Al moves into the number 2 spot.
What am I? What are total points?
You have 45. You're 10 behind.
Here's the
me.
good news, Em. No matter where we end up, the regular season will end. We all qualify for the postseason, and then we go from there.
Emily's 1 on your heels at 44, and Taylor is at 35. So we're all bunched reasonably close together. But congratulations on your first weekly wins.
Thank you, man. By the way, how funny is that? I didn't even get a win by myself.
Yeah, it's a tie.
I even had to get it with Taylor in this one.
Hey, baby steps.
However you can get it.
Baby steps along the way.
Okay, I'm going to go to it.
You're going to go to what?
You want to do it after factor cap?
Do what?
Because we're running next to the clock here. AD stuff.
Yeah, no, do it.
After factor cap?
No, do it right now.
All
Start
right,
right now.
look at his last 3 games. So I'm doing post game yesterday, and Spectrum puts up this stat that I'm like, wait, that can't be right.
You tweeted it out, I think, right?
Okay, so
I think I saw it.
Against the Pelicans a couple nights ago now, right? He went 0 for 2 in the fourth quarter, and I think he had 2 points. Against the Utah Jazz, he went 0 for 1 in the fourth quarter, and he didn't score in the fourth. Yesterday, he didn't even take a shot attempt in the fourth quarter, okay? And I read some of the quotes.
How many minutes did he play?
Plenty, whatever it is, right? I'm assuming 30-ish, something like that.
No,
okay?
I'm talking about specifically in the fourth, but he was in the game in the fourth quarter.
He was in the game.
Okay.
So I saw LeBron, he put out, in the postgame. Obviously, it starts with AD and getting him more touches. Our focal point is and always should to help him get more touches throughout the course of possession, quarters, halves. Okay? Russ asked about it. Why, what do you think's going on fourth quarter AD? I don't know whose primary job it is, to be honest, as far as getting him the ball. Okay? I'll leave it up to the coaches to figure out the best way for them to utilize him. When I'm in, I do the best job I can making reads, try to make the game easier for him, and when I'm in. AD did not address the media yesterday, so he did not talk. I'm not worried about Bron getting AD the ball.
Does he typically talk after every game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not worried about Bron getting AD the ball. I'm also not worried about Russ getting AD the ball. I'm not worried about anybody getting Anthony Davis the ball. If you want the freaking ball, go ask for the ball. In the fourth quarter of 3 straight games, he's had a total of 3 shot attempts. Trev.
That's crazy.
How does that happen? I'm not telling you that the Lakers, if he shot, I was actually making this point yesterday in the postgame show. I wish he was 0 for 30 in the fourth quarter.
Sure.
Take the shots.
Yeah, for sure.
At least tell me that you're getting the ball, that you're doing everything you possibly can to be aggressive. They got blown out in 2 straight games. All right? The Utah Jazz blew them out, and yesterday the Cleveland put 56-36, plus 20 in the second half. Maybe if AD takes 10 shots each quarter, it doesn't change a thing. That's not the thing I'm paying attention to.
Take 10 shots.
You cannot be, if you're Anthony Davis for the Los Angeles Lakers, it's impossible. This team may not go anywhere, period, just because, like we were talking about the talent part. Maybe they make a trade, maybe they don't. There's things you can control. What you can control is, this is a player that is either the second best player on the team, first best player. It depends on the night, whatever the case is. You can't go away in the fourth quarter and decide, okay, I'm not going to take shots. Again, go 0 for 30. Don't take 3 shots over the course of 3 fourth quarters.
Yeah, it's awful. I mean, that is inexcusable, is what it is. Look, I know that we spent a lot of time that he doesn't have the dog in him, right? That he doesn't have that thing that those great players have in them where, to your point, do you know who I am? I'm not taking 1 shot. I'm taking 10 shots. He doesn't have that. The question is, if he doesn't, what do you do moving forward? Because you're right. That is completely unacceptable. You cannot have the best player on your team, which he probably is at this point, not shoot the ball at the most important point in the game. And it's not.
These are not blowouts. These are not Lakers are winning by 15 and he sits in the sideline. No, and they're losing in these games.
It's not like it happens once a month. It's happening regularly. And it just can't. So something needs to change. What the something is, we'll try and figure it out. That comes up after Factor Cap, 710 ESPN.
All right, Weekend Hero is, of course, LAFC, what they accomplished over the weekend. Weekend Hero is brought to you by Stat Hero. Look for local market lineups in the Stat Hero app. Filter by single game. Pay attention to the local market lineups at stathero.com. Don't forget to enter that promo code 710. That's the only thing that we ask. If you play Stat Hero, obviously we'd love for you guys to be a part of what Trav and I do on game-to-game basis. Just make sure you put that promo code 710. That's the way they kind of track all this stuff down, and then you get a 100% deposit match by putting in that
100% deposit match, and you're going to have some fun. If you haven't done daily fantasy, you're not quite sure how you want to do it, Stat Hero is a great way to get started. It's super easy. You just have to beat the one lineup. You don't have to play with a bunch of other people. It's just you against the lineup. You'll have fun. Promo code 710.
Stat Hero winning isn't a fantasy. Factor Cap coming up next.
Hey, Rams fans, Travis Rogers here. You have got to get the new ESPNLA app. In fact, let's go down to the locker room and get a little help.
What's up, Rams fans? This is Matthew Stafford. React to the Rams on the new ESPNLA app.
This is Cooper Kupp of the Los Angeles Rams. Listen to all your Rams talk on the ESPNLA app.
You are just one tap away from Rams All Access. Travis and Slee, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. Download it now on the App Store or Google Play.
710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
Factor Cap.
Oh, that's cap. That's so cap, Dad.
Everything I've said is a cap, but I'm going to go back.
First of all, it's not a cap. It's
No, it
just
is a cap.
Welcome to Factor Cap.
Hey guys, I just got tagged in this from Anthony Rincon. He said, do you guys remember that one gymnast, Michaela Maroney, that when she won her silver medal, she had like the side face?
Yep.
Yeah, she was like, this is Emily getting the yellow card for intimidation in her 12-year-old soccer team, and it's pretty accurate. So
I like Michaela Maroney. She was great.
yeah, she was good. All right, so a story came out this weekend that a El Paso high school may have students may have to retake their SAT test because a UPS truck transporting them were lost or destroyed them. Like it kind of fell out of this UPS truck. So these students at this El Paso high school have to take the SAT again. So my statement is, you would score higher on your SAT today than you would have when you were in high school. Travis, Factor Cap.
No, cap. My SAT, I did pretty well on that test. I'm a the proverbial good test taker. My verbal would be a little bit better, but it was already really, really good the first time I took it. My math was slightly better than average, and I don't think I'd get one question right now. I don't think I could get a single math question right. I struggle with like just the most basic math concepts, so I would get slaughtered in a retake of the SAT.
Yeah, I'm cap on this. No question about it. I'm cap. The only way I survived was I had homework and I had extra credit. The test taking, a lot of these times, if I'm not specific, like so prepared for it, and I try to do it right now, that ain't happening. Definitely a cap for me.
I was the exact opposite. Like homework, I don't need to do that. Just give me the test.
I wish I had that in me.
That's the only thing I had.
I just have to work.
Yeah, no. You know George Carlin? George Carlin has one of my favorite lines. He goes, "Hard work is for people without talent." And it's the meanest thing I've ever heard because it's just decidedly not true.
I'll just go ahead and take the hard work.
Absolutely,
I have no other choice.
Does anybody?
I mean,
if you're George Carlin and you're a genius, sure, but I always like that because everybody's like, well, that kind of leaves me out of the mix. I love that one.
Taylor?
Cap. So I never took an SAT. I took an ACT, but even that, I don't think I would score higher today. I think I went into my ACT hungover, actually.
I feel like Emily
How'd it
would
go?
I think Emily would do better.
I got like a 24 or something.
I don't even know I didn't take ACT, so.
You only took SAT?
I took SAT and then I took ACT subject test. So I took like for history and for science, I think. I did okay, and I think I would do better now.
A lot of places you don't even have to take them anymore. They've
Right.
kind of waived it as like an optional kind of additional thing you can put on your resume.
I'll take
be
that
nice.
option.
Yeah, sold.
Yeah, I had to take SAT prep classes all the time. Anyway, so as we saw in the news, the breaking news that Jeff Saturday will be the interim head coach for the Indianapolis Colts. You will watch a Colt game just to see what Jeff Saturday can do. Alan, Factor Cap.
Cap. Yeah, I won't watch that one. I don't really care. I have no interest at all. There's enough good NFL teams out there that will catch my attention. When I say good NFL teams, I'm saying that, okay, it's interesting. Buffalo lost over the weekend. KC was in a game against Tennessee. It's kind of opened up, right? I think we're still going to have our favorites. You're still going to feel good about Buffalo. You're still going to feel good about the NFC.
Give me a Final Four right now because I bet you we have at least 3 of the same teams. I bet you we have 3 of the same
I don't think
teams.
anyone doesn't have Buffalo and KC.
I agree.
In 2 of them.
Yep.
And now you got to go through the NFC. I would put...
By the way, the NFC has more 6-win teams than the AFC does.
This is not right, and I have no reason to do it, but I'll put the Cowboys and the Niners as my 4.
I was going to have the Cowboys and the Eagles.
Which I have no reason not to put the Eagles in there.
Yeah.
I just have seen the Cowboys and the Niners play.
I like good train wreck. I like it. The Colts have been dreadful all season long. You're putting someone in a position where there's almost no chance that he's up for this, right? I think he'll have the respect of the guys in the locker room because he's a former player, because he's a Super Bowl champion, because they recognize him, right? He's on TV every day.
Yeah.
But being on TV is not the same thing as being an NFL head coach. This could be a very, very weird situation. Going back to what you're talking about.
Usually go from the league or a coach to TV. You don't go from TV, the league TV, and then a coach.
It's pretty rare. This NFL season, though, the reason I asked you about your 4, I think there are 4 or 5 pretty good teams. That leaves 25 or 27 teams that are somewhere between bad and not very good. This is the least satisfying NFL season I can remember in a while because even the good games aren't great. Like last night was exciting, but it wasn't. I mean, what was the final score? 20-17, something like that. It hasn't been these back and forth like we got last year in the playoffs, where every game was bananas. We really haven't had a ton of those this season.
Also, could we have the luck of KC with always picking the right side of those coin flips?
My goodness.
Like, except for that one time with Brady. That was 2019 or whatever when they ended up losing. But Taylor.
Oh, Cap, by all accounts, seems like a nice guy. I wish him success, but it's not like it's Peyton Manning or Pat McAfee out there coaching. I think I would tune in.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
And that would be a good thing for the Colts, too. I think the Colts fan would get on board with a McAfee as a signal caller. So, the Kings, this is for Taylor, have installed a laser beam in their stadium as a way to show that they have a win. Is that right, Taylor? Did I have that right?
Yeah, so every time there's a Kings victory, this purple laser beam just shoots up into the air.
Like the Luxor in Vegas kind of thing?
I don't know of that laser beam.
That's the white
it's the
tip
pyramid,
of the pyramid.
right?
Where
pyramid's been there for,
I've seen the pyramid, but I didn't know it had laser beams on it.
It has a white light that shoots into the
How
sky.
high in the air does it go?
Hundreds of feet.
Okay, so this is like that.
All right, so the laser beam is a good use of the Kings' funds. Taylor, Patrick Cap.
I think the city needs to see some a sign of success, and maybe this will draw more fans in.
Okay, Travis.
I'm okay with when you are a team like the Sacramento Kings that has been.
You need something.
What is it? 12 years since they made the playoffs? What is it?
2006.
Oh, okay. So we're closing
the longest,
in on 20 years.
Once the Mariners got in, they became the new.
Took the lead.
They became the last team.
I don't have a problem with bad teams trying to come up with some sort of hook, some sort of gimmick.
But they just lit it up over the weekend.
What else are you going to do?
Yeah.
Right? That you're not going to say, come see De'Aaron Fox. We've seen that for a few years. That's not working. So let's shoot some laser beams into the sky.
Was it Fox that hit the buzzer beater over the Magic?
Yeah, De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, so maybe people are saying that, okay?
You can see it from San Diego.
I'm fact on this one, and I'll tell you why. Do you know how many stupid things go on during timeouts and during half times and everything else?
You're as cold as ice.
Do you know how tough it is to keep people entertained for 2.5 hours, and every sports team is trying to do it? So I got no problem with it, and if the Kings find a way to... We're talking about it. I mean, when's the last time we talked about the Kings other than...
Every day.
So,
cold as ice.
Cold as ice. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I think the Lakers could use some lasers on their shooting.
Lakers, Celtics, some teams can't do that. Like, if you're a real team, for lack of a better word, the Dodgers can't do a gimmick.
Clippers can get away with anything.
The Clippers can do it. The Dodgers...
The Pelicans can call it the Smoothie King Center, and nobody says anything.
If the Dodgers put a splash mountain in center field, there would be a riot in the streets.
Yes.
If the Angels do it, it was like, yeah, that's pretty stupid. And we just keep it moving. There are different rules for different franchises. The Yankees cannot do things that the Mets can't.
Can I tell you, this is my comp at a restaurant. It's like, sometimes you walk into a restaurant, you're like, hey, this is pretty cool. Look at all this stuff that's going on. They got a nice waterfall here. Wow, this is nice. They have this. How's the food? Right? Like the most of these other franchises, it's like, I don't care what you're doing around. What does the food taste like? That's the equivalent of the Dodgers and these others.
The laser beam is the waterfall.
Yes. You could be in the strip mall, and I could want to eat at your place if the food's good. You know?
Yeah.
All right. So I went to a flea market yesterday, and I got some jewelry, but the jewelry didn't have any price tag on it. So it's like, I like this. I assume kind of what the price range would be. And so I bought it. I got to know, after I was like, I'm going to get this, treat myself or whatever. But you haggle.
Treat yourself.
At a flea market or at a place which you're directly talking to the person that's giving you the things. Travis, Patrick Cap.
Yeah, I would. In that situation that you're talking about, I wouldn't do it quite like you. Like, if I would say, what was it? Is a bracelet, earrings? What was it?
Like 60.
Okay. No. Like, for instance.
Oh, necklace.
Yeah, a necklace. I would say, how much is the necklace? And if they said 60, I'd be, oh, man, that's too, okay. Yeah, that's too much. I was thinking of if it were 30, I might do it. Like, now we're negotiating, right? And it'll probably land somewhere in between those two numbers, and you save yourself $10 or $12. So, yeah, I would give it, all they can do is say, nope, it's 60, and then you either buy it or you don't. Why not?
So, old Slee, this is definitely fact. I think today's Slee, it's much more cap. By the way, I wish I could do that for a house. What's a house? 800?
You can.
What about 400?
Right now you can.
Yeah.
It's coming back your way right now.
Just get the interest rate. I'm more cap on this one, but it just depends on the amount. $60 to me is a lot of money where I'm more apt to negotiate. If something's $10, I find myself not negotiating to save $2, right? Like, I don't think that's going to happen. But 60 might be the price point where I'm like, 40. You know what I mean? Like, if I really wanted it, only because the savings is more significant.
If you hit them with it too,
it's not a principal thing.
60? Oh man, I really like that, but I can't do 60. And then you start to move out of there. They may, well, what would you be willing to pay?
You should do like a YouTube, like a step by step, and your reaction. 60.
Yeah, 60.
And then you read off. You're reading off the list of like what you do next.
Always walk away. You can always come back, but maybe they'll stop you. Maybe they'll say, "Well, hold on a second. Let's talk for a second."
If you jog, it actually scientifically has been proven they'll bring down the price more.
The person that's willing to walk away always has the upper hand.
Sure.
Right? The person the person that can live without it is the person that's getting the deal. All right, we'll go back to Anthony Davis. Like, what do you do if this continues to happen? How do you fix your best player refusing to shoot the ball in the most important moments of the game? That's coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Flea right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
Talk Daily with Slee. Right now, Travis and Sliwa continues on a Championship Monday.
I want to get to Anthony Davis in a second, but I got a quick question for you, Al. You ready?
Yeah.
What do the Carolina Panthers, Detroit Lions, Chicago Bears, Arizona Cardinals, and Green Bay Packers have in common?
They all can beat the Rams?
Well, probably. That's one answer. They're the only 5 teams in the NFC with a worse record than the Rams.
Oh, that's not good.
No, it's not.
Yeah, that can't be good.
Let's say it again. Carolina, the Lions, the Bears, the Cards, the Packers. If New Orleans wins tonight, they'll jump ahead of the Rams. 5 teams that have a worse record than the Rams in the NFC.
Oh, my gosh.
But at least the Packers are on there.
Yeah, but I mean, again, this is kind of like we were talking about a second ago with the Lakers, Al. It's like the goal is not to not be the worst, right? The goal is not to, well, at least we're not as bad as these guys.
Yeah, it truly means nothing. Oh. You're right. Truly means nothing.
The Los Angeles Rams, 3-5, and just absolutely came unglued yesterday. Just complete. The coaching staff came unglued. The offense was never glued to begin with, and the defense finally gave it up at the end because you give Tom Brady 80 shots at it, he's going to get one.
I don't know if your tune changed at all. I'm assuming it didn't. Last week you were saying no. For you, it was if they lost yesterday, they're not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Are you still trying to sell yourself on, well, if this happens and if they go 6 and blah, what would they have to go now? 6-3?
They'd have to go 6-3 to get to 9. The number's probably 10.
Ooh, that
right?
sounds really bad.
Yeah.
They'd have to go 6-3 to get to 9.
If they go 6-3, they'll finish the season 9-8. So to get to 10, to get to 10-7, you got to go 7-2 over these last handful of games.
Yeah.
They're not very good. And so, look, I'd love to be wrong.
And they were playing, just use Tampa as an example.
Tampa stinks.
That was like that was a good comp.
Yeah,
those
Tampa
were
stinks.
2 good teams going at it. 2 bad teams going at it to determine which one's worse.
Tampa is not a good team. Mm-hmm. Tampa should have lost that game. They probably lose that game to just about anybody else yesterday. 1 first down. They didn't get 1 first down in the fourth quarter. Not one.
How's that possible?
They had 3 drives in the fourth quarter. All 3 of them were 3 and out. And literally everybody on the offense, with the exception of Cooper Kupp, was bad. Matthew Stafford was bad. Henderson was bad. Akers was bad. Jefferson was bad. Higbee was non-existent. Allen Robinson was a non-factor. Everybody on that offense was below the line.
What did I read that, was it for yesterday's game or for the season, that Cooper Kupp is targeted 75% of the time, something like that?
It's number 1 in the NFL by a mile, and it goes to show you it doesn't work like that.
Oh my gosh.
What's the opposite of targets? Untargets? Anti-targets? I don't know what the target...
Not targeted?
Not targeted. Anthony Davis is not targeting himself. And
so frustrating.
Is he the best player on that team? Yes. I mean, certainly 1A.
Can I say this, which is not going to answer your question? He's supposed to be.
Okay.
Right? He's supposed to be. Like at this stage of Braun's career, now Anthony Davis, who's 29 years old, is supposed to be the best player on the team.
And he's not shooting in the fourth quarter. And it wasn't just yesterday. What did you say? In the last
3 games in a row, in the fourth quarter, he has a total of 3 field goal attempts.
Attempts.
Like
this isn't like he's cold and
2,
missing.
1, and 0 in his last 3 games.
What is going on? I want to ask a better question, Al, but that's the question. How is Anthony Davis, who in the very recent past was one of the 10 best players in the league? I know he's had some health issues. I know that he's probably not what he was a couple of years ago, but how did you go? But because early in the game, what do you have, 11 at the half? I think something like that. 11, maybe it might have been 11 in the first quarter. I don't remember exactly, but he has impact, and then he just disappears. That's nothing other than a choice. That's not just once is circumstance. 3 times in a row is choice.
First half against the Jazz, I know this, he had 20, and then he had 2 points in the second half. So I can't remember off the top of my head against the Cavs. Well, they only had 36 points total in the second half, so it probably wasn't many points that he had if you include the third quarter as well. Something happened yesterday. Maybe I'm, reading into it or looking into it or anything like that. What I really want after a game like yesterday is you get the opportunity to listen to somebody kind of justify what's going on. AD did it after the Jazz game. He said, look, I got to be more aggressive. I know I got to be more aggressive in the second half.
Same stuff he usually says, and I'm not being I'm genuinely asking. Kind of the same stuff?
Yeah, kind of the same stuff, right? Yesterday, I really wanted to hear him talk. Lakers are 2-7, okay? There's no way of dancing around 2-7. I want to say in the Western Conference, I might get this wrong, so I just want to double-check here real quick. There's one team worse than the Lakers right now in the Western Conference. It's the Houston Rockets. That's it. Everybody else, teams that you thought were going to be bad, Jazz are 8-3. Blazers got off to a 6-3 start. The San Antonio Spurs are a 500 team. Okay, things will eventually average itself out. The Thunder are 4-5. The Lakers are 2-7. I wanted to hear yesterday from Anthony Davis. I did. Heard from Bron, we heard from Russ. We didn't hear from Anthony Davis. If there's ever a game that you're coming off of, I don't like reading off those stats. No Laker fan wants to think or know that Anthony Davis, where is he in the fourth quarter? Guys, we're down 14. If you need some kind of a threat, it's
why not?
I told you go 0 for 30. You tell me. I don't know.
I'm genuinely asking you your theory because the answer, I think, for if you're asking me my theory, he's terrified of getting blamed. He's terrified of being, oh my gosh, you missed that many shots, or you did.
I got a great
you
response
missed your
to that.
free throws, or whatever it might be.
I got a great response to that.
The responsibility that comes along with being the guy at the end of the game. Some people are comfortable with it. Some people are not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a alternate theory if it's not that. Because if it's not that, then what are we doing?
Okay. I have a response. I'll answer that. Let's do it coming back, all right? Stay right here. Travis and Sliwa Show on 710 ESPN.
Hi, this is Carlos Vela of your LAFC. The black and gold on ESPNLA.
It's a Championship Monday on 710. Celebrating LAFC hoisting the MLS Cup.
Stop shot. Save McCarthy. He dove right and made the save.
Your home of the black and gold.
Ilie, the right foot.
This is Ilya Sanchez of your LAFC in the heart of Los Angeles.
They did it! LAFC!
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
$710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
Is on for your Monday. We're here each weekday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. We begin 9 hours of LA sports talk all day long. Yes, indeed. Hope you had a great weekend. Be safe on the road today. It's going to be wet and rainy the next few days, apparently. Meanwhile, it is a Championship Monday on 710 ESPN, celebrating LAFC hoisting the cup.
We gonna do it forever.
What a Saturday it was at Banc of California Stadium. Congratulations to the black and gold. Meanwhile, it's $1 Million Monday. I think there's a few other things I need to get to. Oh, happy birthday, Alan Sliwa. Sliwa's birthday was yesterday. We were reminded by a company email. Thank the Lord, or I would have forgotten the bit. Not like he forgot my birthday, but We'll find out what Slee got into over the weekend. I know there was a picture of a pizza at one point, but unfortunately the purple and gold didn't give Slee a birthday gift yesterday. And I think there's something else. Oh, the Rams played yesterday, Trav. Let's get to it. Travis and Sliwa, your Monday right now.
We've hit the point with the Adele music where I have like a Pavlovian response to it at this point. I just, she's this amazing vocalist who's got hit after hit after hit and all these things. And the second I hear her voice, I'm like, oh boy, it made something bad happen.
You should listen to that song on your way home today.
No.
How long's your drive?
Well, you know how long? Okay, you ready? You know how long it took me to get home on Friday?
Friday, you left right after the show?
Right after the show. I was in my car by 1:30.
All right. It took you 2.5.
Try again.
Really?
Really. 3 hours and 16 minutes to get home. 3 hours and so it's something where 4:05 and 6:05 come together there. They basically decided Friday at about 2 would be a good time to shut down.
Don't do the road
almost the
construction.
entire. There wasn't any construction. The whole thing was coned off, police cars, the whole thing, but no broken glass, no smashed up car. It was brutal. 3 hours and 16 minutes. So yeah, that's how long it took me to get home.
Congrats, man.
It was
Damn,
terrible.
you got home like at basically almost 5 o'clock.
The only good news was I got home, I changed my clothes, and we went out to dinner. that was it.
Back in the car.
And I had that martini. Then they tried to sit us outside, and that whole thing took place as well. And then Saturday morning, of course, college football. We'll get to SC and UCLA coming up in just a little bit because the door is cracked open for a Pac-12 team to slide into that Final Four. But then LAFC was on Saturday afternoon.
Yep.
I don't get FOMO.
Saturday was a great sports day.
Do you have FOMO? Do you get that
No,
every once?
no.
Me neither.
Yeah,
I don't
care.
really suffer from that. That's not something that I'll see. Oh man, I was watching LAFC on Saturday. I'm like, that would have been amazing
Cool to go to. Yeah.
For the first time in a long time, like I missed out on not being in an event. It looked amazing, and it was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think you and I, who've been there before, we're both kind of like, you guys can think you could get a W without us, and the answer was yes. They felt very comfortable without us.
Such an amazing turn of events. Such a close game. And you thought they were going to win. You thought they were going to lose. You're convinced they're going to lose. Their goalie gets injured. And the next thing you know, boom, MLS
it is,
champs.
And I'll kind of put this more from, I'd say, the outside looking in. It just kind of shows, too, how Los Angeles in general, the Lakers can be 2-7. The Rams could be 3-5, and you don't feel like they're going to, obviously make the playoffs. The Dodgers could get eliminated in the first round when they win 111 games. And there's still another team here in L.A. that goes and wins a championship.
I'm surprised they could do it without Clinton Yates explaining soccer to everybody.
That's pretty funny.
Where the hell has Clinton been? I haven't seen Clinton in a while.
He was at the World Series. He was covering the World
He
Series.
was? Okay.
Yeah, he was doing some World Series work along the way.
But isn't that just kind of, we take it, sometimes you just drive on the freeway. You might spend 30 minutes driving and you're like, I pass by SoFi, Banc of California, the Galen Center, the Rose Bowl. It's like, it's just
Coliseum.
The Coliseum. It's just,
Angel Stadium, Honda Center.
The Dodger Stadium, Crypto.
It's all of them.
That's crazy.
Just wait until the Olympics.
I want to get to the Anthony Davis thing here in a sec, but just very quickly, we're talking about the Rams. Like, oh, great, the Rams. They're 3-5, and their season feels like it's slipping away.
Yeah.
Won the Super Bowl last season. The Lakers feel like they haven't won it forever. They won in 2020. The Dodgers is this massive disappointment. They won the World Series in 2020. Imagine being the Clippers or the Angels or the Chargers or one of these teams that. The teams that just won a title are like, hey, why can't you go get another one? They're not even in the conversation of what they can't get done.
Well, can I say this? I think for the cream of the crop franchises in LA, a lot of it also, it doesn't even have to do with did you win the whole thing. Are you in it? And I think right now the Lakers, they're not in it. Their window of who they are right now, they're not in it. The Rams, nobody was thinking that, okay, they're not even going to make the playoffs. They're 3-5, and that could very well happen that they don't make the postseason. USC, for a long period of time, it's like, yeah, but just be in the freaking mix. Nobody's saying go win it every year. And by the way, once you get into the mix, then you start becoming more the expectations change. Then it's like, okay, well, now you got to go to the college football championship. But you want that, and that's part of the, that's part of kind of the allure of LA and the expectations of LA.
But how do you punch in if you can't even get into you're in the mix? If you're just kind of you're just out there a schedule filler. Angels are schedule fillers. The Clippers are schedule fillers. The Chargers are schedule fillers.
Yeah.
That is a million miles from what we've been talking about. Let's go back to Anthony Davis for a sec.
Okay.
I asked you, give me the numbers again. He's taken 4 shots in the third quarter in their last 3 games.
Pelicans, last week he was 0 for 2 in the fourth quarter. Utah Jazz, he was 0 for 1 in the fourth quarter. And yesterday against the Cavs, he did not take a field goal attempt in the fourth quarter. 3 straight games, he's 0 for 3 in the fourth quarter.
Okay. Collectively 0 for 3. Not in each game. Collectively 0 for 3. Once, weird stuff happens. I couldn't get in the flow of the offense, whatever. 3 times in a row, that's purposeful. There's something that's not happening there. It's not just, they're not calling his number. It's Anthony Davis. Demand the ball, right? Like you've said 100 times. That he's not doing that, there must be a reason. I can't come up with a reason other than he doesn't want the ball. There is no other explanation in my world other than he doesn't want the ball and the responsibility that comes along with having the ball in those moments. Okay?
You're saying specifically because it's a fourth quarter, he doesn't, from what you said, you were saying that he doesn't want to get blamed. Is that what you're referring to?
He doesn't want the stuff that comes along with being the guy that takes those shots in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
The blame. Much better to just, I had nothing to do with it than, hey, why did you blow that?
Yeah.
LeBron James, better or worse, I'm your guy.
Russ will take a shot, no problem.
100%.
Use Russ on the roster.
100%.
Yeah.
Russ will do it. And it doesn't just start. There are other guys that are Robert Horry, I'll take that shot. Like there are some guys that are happy to do it. But that he's as reluctant to get involved in the offense. And by the way, these are games, 7, 8, 9? These are not playoff games. These are not, we're making a playoff push. These are schedule filler games, right? These are games that are not terribly important to the overall part of the season. And he's still shrinking from the moment. I need to know why. I need to know.
I don't have an answer, but I could tell you why I don't think it's your theory. The reason why I don't think it's your theory is because the only thing worse than going 0 for 30 is Anthony Davis going 0 for 3 in 3 games. The only thing worse...
Says you, maybe not says him.
No, I think it's a worse look for him by not taking shots.
Maybe he feels different. Maybe he does not see it like that.
Let me give you an example. Yesterday, Spectrum, in the postgame show, I told you, was putting up that stat sheet. I'm all good. You went 0 for 9 in each one of those games. At least I know you were taking shots. And you know what probably Anthony Davis is going to say if he got in front of a microphone? Guys, I'm just not hitting my shots. Those shots are going to fall. I'm going to continue to take those shots, and those shots are going to fall. That's why I'm less concerned of him being worried in the moment or something like that. I don't think that's the case. I think it looks worse by not taking the shots.
But then what's the explanation?
And I don't have that answer. I could tell you.
Somebody has to know.
What I could tell you is that there's no excuse for it and there's no reason for it. You cannot be Anthony Davis on the Los Angeles Lakers, a team that's 2-7 in the first 9 games, a team that doesn't have Bron tonight in Utah, and Utah already put up 130 on you on Friday. You cannot be Anthony Davis and take 3 shots in 3 fourth quarters. One of those games, by the way, went to overtime against the Pelicans. They could have easily been 0-3 in those games. It's not like they're winning by 15, and AD saying, guys, let these other guys get shots. They're losing by double digits, and he's not taking the buckets.
I'm willing to hear alternate theories, but until there is one, I'm going to go with he doesn't want it. Because no one is telling me something else that makes any sense. There isn't LeBron's taking every shot. That's not what's happening. It's not that Russell Westbrook's taking every. That's not what's happening. He's Anthony Davis. I'm sure they're calling his number. He could demand the ball.
Go get the ball.
Go. All of these things. So until there's an alternate theory other than he doesn't want the ball, I'm just going to assume he doesn't want it. Because my theory is the only one that has some data to support it. It is. That otherwise he would have shots. It doesn't make any sense. If he wanted the ball, he would get it. If he wanted
but
shots,
you're saying that it's almost like he's afraid to take the shots at the end.
Regardless of why he's not taking them. Regardless of the reason he doesn't want them, he doesn't want them. We could argue about the he's scared of it or what. It almost doesn't matter. He's not taking them. And the only explanation, you're not offering me an alternate theory, is he doesn't want to take them. Why?
Well, he doesn't want to take them. That's clear. You can't do that 3 games in a row.
But the why of it all is like, okay, if he doesn't want to take him, he doesn't want to take him. You can't make the guy have heart. You can't make him demand the ball. He's either going to do it or he's not. And this is not just these last 3 games. We talked about this last year. We talked about it at periods of time the year before that, where there are long stretches of games.
He can have stats, but do you feel him?
He disappears. He's invisible.
Do you feel him?
Very, very infrequently. When he's there, yes. When he's not, and by the way, in the fourth, I mean, that's when it matters the most, right? Terribly
Especially
frustrating.
you're down in these games.
He doesn't want, until I see him say, I want it, and I need to see him take 8 shots, 7 shots. Game in a row, game in a row, game in a row. Let's see it happen.
All right, Stat Hero of the Day brought to you by Stat Hero. Look for local market lineups in the Stat Hero app, filtered by single game. Pay attention to local market lineups at stathero.com. Let me give you an example. If you want to play tonight's game, Lakers and the Utah Jazz, you can pick specific players that are going up against each other, a lineup you like versus a lineup you don't like. Don't forget, you got to enter that promo code 710. You'll receive a 100% deposit match. Stat Hero, winning isn't a fantasy.
Let's try a couple of these phone calls. Let's go to Marina Del Rey and Trey. Ooh, that rhymes a little bit. Trey, you're on with Travis.
Hey, how's it going,
What's
y'all?
up?
What's going on, Trey? Good.
Say that maybe it's possible that AD's just back is getting a little bit tighter as the game progresses, and he's just not feeling as good as the game progresses. I know he's not being really aggressive, which is not good for him, but maybe it's a physical thing.
Appreciate you calling in. So I don't have an answer to that. I really don't. Maybe that is the case, and I wouldn't mind him if that was his explanation. He comes on in the post game and says, "Yeah, after the first 24 minutes of the game, because he's had good first halves.
Sure,
he had 20 points in the first half against the Utah Jazz. Only had 2 the second half. Even if he went, and maybe this is a player thing where you don't want to address it, you don't want to point out that my back gets really tight. By the time I come back in the second half, I'm a different player." Maybe that's a theory. I don't know.
If it's injury related, the end result is still deeply unsatisfying, because if he can't get through the entirety of an NBA game, now we're having a totally different conversation, because to your point, his first halves are pretty solid. So if we're saying you only get him, what does he play in the first half? Let's just round it 15 minutes.
16 minutes.
15, 16. Let's play him in the second half then. Let's not even use him in the first half. If I'm getting the best version, if I only have him for 16 minutes, let's use him at the end of these games and hope that we can keep it close. And if we can't, then what are we doing here? It doesn't matter one way or the other.
I don't think it's that.
I'm waiting.
I don't think the back tightens up in the second half. I think he has opportunities in the third and fourth quarter to be more aggressive. Just simple as that.
Yes, but why doesn't he take advantage of those opportunities is the question. We're on the same page as to what's happening.
Yeah.
But the interesting part to me is, why is it happening?
There's only one person who will know. It's AD. And AD did not want to answer any questions yesterday.
But
we'll see if tonight if he answers it.
It wasn't just yesterday. If it were just yesterday, sure. But this is 3 games in a row. This is a couple of seasons in a row. This is not a new problem. It's just more pronounced right now. But this has been going on for a while. His inability to impact a game on a regular basis, night after night, has been the bugaboo of his career as a Laker. This is not new, and I would love to have this is why, other than, I really would rather not. It's deeply unsatisfying. Let's go to Oxnard and Mark. Mark, you're on with Trav and Slee. What's up?
How's it going, man? I just want to say, you guys need to relax a little bit on the record. We're 2-2 right now. If you take away the first 5 games, I'm looking at we're 2-2. I'm a diehard Laker fan.
Why would you take away the first 5 games? Why would you take away the first 5 games?
Because you can't. You're climbing the mountain. You're going to be climbing the mountain if you look at it, your record as 2-7. If you look at it as 2-2, we're 2-2 right now, and we're good to go. LeBron just needs to play better. Period. From what I'm seeing, he isn't affecting the game like he used to. He's a negative plus-minus player right now. I know that's a tricky stat, but sometimes you sit down and let Russ and AD cook. You know what I mean? And it's frustrating because you're watching the game and you're seeing LeBron take 3-pointer after 3-pointer after 3-pointer, and it's just not the right brand of basketball that he should be playing. I think he should be more of a playmaker, getting his teammates involved, getting AD involved at the end of the game. If you're going to be a point guard, demand the ball go to AD. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the game, demand the ball go to AD.
Mark, I'm going to jump in. Mark actually does not have bad points. Just don't say I'm not counting the first 5 games. If he'd have just went into his points and didn't say, I'm not looking at it as they're 2-7, I'm looking at it as they're 2-2, well, then I could say, well, they got lucky against the Pelicans. They should be winning. No, they're 2-7. Mm-hmm. That's their record. They're 2-7. They lost to the Blazers. They lost to a Clippers team is showing that they're below 500 at this point. They lost to a Warrior team that only has 3 wins so far this year. I think they're 3-7 or 3-8.
Mm-hmm.
They're 2-7. That's what they are.
Yeah, I mean that.
His
that
other
part
points.
doesn't make
His
sense.
other points were fair.
Even the other points to me, it's like
Bron has not played well.
That part I agree.
Yeah,
with.
he's not played well.
The part of LeBron is not LeBron so far this season. Yes,
yeah.
But this idea of get other people. Who would you like to see him get involved? Anthony Davis won't get involved. So now what are his options? If AD refuses to engage in these moments, who do you want him to give the ball to? I get that LeBron has not played great, but I'd still rather take my chances with LeBron struggling a little bit.
I think LeBron's dealing
than
with
some of these other guys.
He's
And he
sitting
might
out
be
today.
dealing with
Yeah.
some health issues along the way, but
Mm-hmm.
this distributed to who? That at that point, this goes back to what we were talking about originally, which is the talent level on this team is just not there. And give it to this guy. Okay, are they going to make a shot? No. Give me a struggling, hobbled LeBron James before we're distributing it to guys that don't have nearly the track record that he does. They're in a really tricky spot because the guy that's supposed to be carrying him isn't. Their second guy, LeBron, is not off to a good start, and he's in his 20th season, oh, by the way. Russell Westbrook's kind of been a revelation coming off the bench. It's been really good. That's the bright spot. That's 3 of the 15 guys on the roster.
Do you know Russ, for 2 games in a row, has got MVP chance at Crypto.com Arena?
Fans are fans. Fans are fans. And I love them, and they're great, but they're fans.
Yeah.
And to run his butt out of here to MVP.
1 week later, MVP chance.
Yeah, it happens fast. Mark Rogandino, who does the LAFC pregame show. Slee, another pre- and post guy with us right here on
That
710
connection.
ESPN. Celebrate a little LAFC MLS Cup title next. Hey, Rams fans, Travis Rogers here. You have got to get the new ESPNLA app. In fact, let's go down to the locker room and get a little help.
What's up, Rams fans? This is Matthew Stafford. React to the Rams on the new ESPNLA app.
This is Cooper Kupp of the Los Angeles Rams. Listen to all your Rams talk on the ESPNLA app.
You are just one tap away from Rams All Access. Travis and Slee, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. Download it now on the App Store or Google Play.
$710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
All right, you got a chance for Cardinals-Rams tickets and your shot at $1 million as well. Let's go to caller number 7. Caller, are you there? Caller, Caesar, are you there?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
There we are, Caesar. Caesar, where are you calling from?
Brea.
What's your last name, Caesar?
Zamora.
Caesar Lamora from Brea. Do you know how this works, Caesar? You got yourself some Rams and Cards tickets. Do you know how the $1 Million Monday portion works?
Yeah, we got to pick 2 teams for the Super Bowl.
There you go. Sir. Who you got?
I'm going to go with the Chiefs, and for the AFC and for NFC, I'll go with the. I'll put the Bucks in there.
Okay, Kansas City and Tampa running it back from a few years ago. What's the final score? Who you got winning, and what's the score?
I'll take the Chiefs 28, Bucks 24.
All right, Kansas City over Tampa, 28-24. That's Caesar Lamora in Brea. Congratulations, Caesar.
Listen season on LA's Mega $1 Million sports station.
Everybody's got a prize.
710 ESPN.
Tampa caught me by surprise.
Well, the whole call caught me by surprise. What was going on there?
Yeah, Tampa. I sure.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably gonna win that division.
I mean, for a second there, his NFC analysis took 40 minutes. Come on, Caesar.
He got there. I was afraid we were going to get a non-AFC
I was
team.
going to pick the Cardinals.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not. The Cardinals only won one fewer game than the Bucks. That's actually happening. All right, so LAFC wins the MLS Cup on Saturday against Philly. Just an unbelievable scene out at Banc of California Stadium. Somebody that you hear right here on the station does a little LAFC pregame show. Mark Rogandino joining us right now. Rogue, what was it like inside that building as you were watching LAFC win that cup? Because on TV, it was just bonkers.
Wait, Travis and Flea, I'm caller number 8 for the $1 million.
Yeah, you missed.
I don't get a shot at that?
You still get a shot. You still get
Caesar already picked. You're out.
What a day. What a sports weekend here in Southern California. I mean, even if the results didn't go your way, say you're a Clippers fan, or obviously disappointed in what the Rams did out on the East Coast, but Saturday was all about football, and LAFC 5+ years of long hard work finally coming to fruition. It was Travis, we've known each other for a long time, and I've covered thousands of soccer matches, and I've played in thousands of soccer matches, and I don't know that I've ever been a part of anything like this, let alone a soccer match, but let alone a sporting event.
Mark, it's interesting because when you say 5 long, hard years of work, 5 years is not a lot of time. And it actually shows how quick LAFC has – it feels like LAFC has represented LA for a lot longer than 5 years. And the reason why, Mark, I bring that up to you, over those 5 years, what has happened from that fan base to the organization putting themselves in a position, the front office putting themselves in a position to win the MLS Cup? Because it's remarkable to accomplish what they've done already and have the impact, not in a small market, a market as big as LA.
Yeah, no, it's a great point, Flea. I mean, I think the fact is that, and a lot of new teams and even overseas teams have looked at the way that they've done it. And the way that they came into the marketplace was long before they ever played a match, right? They made sure they picked the right logo. They made sure they made it be known to everyone that, hey, this is all inclusive. They came up with the mantra, street by street, block by block, shoulder to shoulder. It was about anyone that wants to hop into this family, anyone that wants to be part of the black and gold, come on in. It doesn't matter color, race, religion. It doesn't matter. Come on in to be part of supporting. And I think one of the biggest reflections of that is oftentimes when you see supporters groups for one team, they almost have and this is true of the Galaxy, they have a rivalry within themselves. The Riot Squad versus Angel City Brigade. Those guys almost say, hey, we're the better supporters group. We're the better supporters group. From day one, if you're part of the 3252, whether you're part of the 9, 10, 11 different supporters groups that are in that group, you are all one family. Yes, you have different leaders of your supporters groups, and you do things differently as how you support the team and when you support the team. But the bottom line is you all back the team. You all back the colors. And they hit the streets running with getting out there with that mantra. And then all of a sudden, 2018 comes around, you play your first match, and you actually are a really good team. Credit to John Thorrington and Will Kuntz up in the front office. They put together a remarkable team from day one. To think that in 5 years, this team not only wins an MLS Cup, but the fact that they have been one of the better, more winning teams in that time. Only one season they didn't make the playoffs last season, and the way they bounced back this year, pretty incredible.
Mark Brogandino joining us here. We're celebrating the LAFC winning MLS Cup over the weekend. Rogue, you were a keeper at San Diego State, yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So take me through what it's like when you go to PKs, the game's on the line, you're in there, you're by yourself, that guy's getting ready to take a shot on goal at that point. Take me through what must have been going through everybody's head, John McCarthy's in particular.
Well, now you're going way above my pay grade because you're assuming I was actually decent, Trav. I mean,
the theories, perhaps, maybe more than the execution.
To be fair, I think one of the biggest things is, and people that follow soccer and that are listening right now will nod when they hear this, is a couple of years ago they really got cracked down on the rule of the keeper coming off of that goal line. Right, in years past, forever, when that guy's about to kick it, and it's basic geometry. If you take one step further out off that line, you're closing that angle a little bit more. You have a better chance to get to that ball that's in the corner because if you draw a triangle, right, you've shut that angle down just a little bit more. Well, now with VAR, they can go and look. So if you cheat off that line and they score, there's a chance the referee's going to say, oh, we're going to let you take it again. You can go laterally side to side along that line, but you cannot step off that line. So if you go back and look, what John did, which was amazing, and he told the referee, is he wanted to have his momentum still moving forward to make the save. So he started actually a foot inside the goal. So he would actually, when the guy was about to shoot, he would actually take that step to be on the line, but his body's moving forward. So now he can dive diagonally out and still somewhat cut that angle down. I think one of the things that's really important to note here, and I didn't know this until after, is if the team was going to go to penalty kicks against Philadelphia, they had plans and designs that they were going to put John in for Max. Obviously, Max gets injured, horrific leg injury, but John is better in the penalty kick situation, and they had plans that if they were going to go to PKs, he was going to be substituted in.
Mark, I'm curious, what do you think this does? I think there are a lot of fans here in, obviously, Los Angeles that there's so many different teams to support, and it's really – I don't know of another city that has so many teams. It doesn't matter the sport, but they pretty much got two of everything. What can winning the MLS, the way the LAFC won it on Saturday, how do you think this helps grow the franchise locally? What do you think it does for them over the next 5 years or so?
Well, certainly the fact, Flea, that people who have not taken notice prior to this season or prior to the game this past Saturday are all of a sudden seeing, the front of the LA Times sports page. They're hearing you guys celebrate it and embrace it and do the promos. And you guys know, right, because you work for 710 ESPNLA, you guys know, and I'm assuming you guys have both been to games because I've heard you talk about it on the air. Mm-hmm. It right now is arguably the best sporting experience in Southern California. I mean, there's just no way around it because the passion of the fans, the sold-out stadium all the time. There's not a bad seat inside Bank of California Stadium. You can sit in the last row, and you still have a great view of the field. And just the excitement that goes into it. So I think now winning an MLS Cup, continuing what has been a pretty winning tradition, but now taking it to the ultimate level of hoisting that trophy, I think it's just only going to amp it up a little further. People who maybe hadn't taken notice before are certainly going to have to take notice now because – it's an unbelievable. It became what the Lakers kind of did in the 80s and in the 90s winning championships. This last game we had D-Real of Cypress Hill. We had Chavo System of the Down. We had Owen Wilson. We've had the guys from Ted Lasso sitting pitch side. We've had, Exhibit. We've had Sia was there wearing an all-gold dress in LAFC color. I mean, people are coming out from all. We've had Matt Stafford, we've had Big Witt, we've had Tyler Higbee. We've had all athletes and entertainers from all over the city come and be a part of it.
Mark Rogandino does the LAFC pregame show right here on 710 ESPN. Now, so last one, I asked Mario this when he came in this morning, and the way that the game was unfolding at the end, the fact that LAFC went up 2-1 and then very quickly gave up a goal to tie it, that they fell behind in extra time 3-2. Was there ever a moment where you thought, you know what, it's just not meant to be? Mario said too much love in the building. There was no chance it was going to go the other way. Did you feel the same?
Obviously, Travis Lee, I felt we've got to find a way to do it. We've got to find a way to do it. But I'm also a realist. So when Bale headed that one home to tie it 3-3, and you guys have posted the video on social, I was almost in complete shock. Like, wait a minute, what just happened? What just happened? Because if you think about the odds of going down with just a couple of minutes left in extra time,
yeah, that doesn't
your
happen.
goalie has just been carted off. You're playing down a man. I mean, we're literally talking like you could probably put it as high as 1 in a million the chance that you come back and actually score, go to penalties, and win. It just doesn't happen. You cannot script this stuff. I mean, it was incredible. And the atmosphere, like I said, is one of the best sporting events I've ever been to. And I feel like I've been to some pretty good ones, covering sports here in Southland for 20 years.
Rose, congratulations on the Cup. I know everybody involved with the broadcast is incredibly thrilled. It's such an exciting time. Appreciate you coming on with us today. Thanks.
Thanks, Mark.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, for sure. One last thing, Flea, you got to try the butter cake at Masters, okay?
Oh. That was, I think, the first item that he was trying to sell me on.
That's they're famous for the butter.
Yeah, he kept going back to it. I'm like, I got it. I understand. I will try it. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, brother.
Thanks, Rose. All right, it was by the way, he's not wrong about the butter cake. It's pretty rich, but it's if you like cheesecake, so that's what you got. I think you'd like that. It's you're not going to be saying, "I wish I had a little more."
I'm going to go after the show.
Go get a slice. Have a slice of butter cake for lunch. Why not? Who says no? SC, UCLA, they're both in the mix to go to the.
I got one other thing for you too.
From the food?
No, baseball gods. Go back into it.
They hate me, Slee.
They hate you.
Me. They absolutely hate me. That's next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN. If you've been hurt in an accident, you need to make that call to Sweet James, because the accident attorneys at Sweet James, they know exactly what they're doing to make sure that you get everything that you're entitled to, which means the medical care that you need, which means the compensation that you deserve. They've settled tens of millions, hundreds of millions of cases by going and making sure that you get what is yours. Their success is driven by their passion.
710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Flea right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
Championship Monday, celebrating LAFC winning the MLS Cup.
Ilya, the right foot. They did it.
What a Saturday it was at Baker California Stadium. Congratulations, LAFC. Travis and Sliwa continues your Monday right now.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock.
I don't know how to set you up for the gods, Lee. other
Wait,
than
Travis,
to know
guess who this is?
Oh, it's Lindsay.
Yeah, it's your girl.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Lindsay Lohan.
Oh, it's Lohan.
Yeah. What do you mean?
I like how you guys didn't think twice about some Christmas music here.
It's Christmas season.
Well, no, I
Okay.
stopped. I just was like,
What are you doing,
something
Taylor?
going on here? Is
Well, yeah, there's something going on.
There's
She's
some
got.
feelings
Is this from her new TV show, Emily, or movie? Is it a movie or
It's
a
a
TV
new
show?
movie, yeah.
New
Falling
movie.
in Love, right?
Falling for Christmas.
it's a new movie.
Has it been? Is it out yet? When's it coming? When's it
It's
drop?
not coming. It's not out
Is
yet.
it the 20th?
I
I
will
need to look that up.
100% be watching that. I will. Let me put it to you this way.
You know what you and John should do? You guys should get together. Call him. Say, hey, come over, or I'll come over, and you guys should watch it together.
I think we have a similar level
You guys
of appreciation.
have connections.
We do. We like 90210.
Yep.
We like Lindsay Lohan.
You like golf.
We like golf.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think we both like to have a
What
nice
more
cocktail.
connection do you need?
Not much.
That's
Look,
it.
the there's like 5 people on the earth that are still interested in Lindsay Lohan. Ireland and I are 2 of them.
Yes.
The other people are probably trying to make a living off of Lindsay Lohan. John and I are just big fans along the way. So what did the baseball gods do to me?
All right, so
other
I'm
than break my heart?
watching I'm watching the World Series on Saturday night. Okay? Or Saturday, whatever time that was.
Yeah.
Saturday they won, right?
Don't remind me.
I had by the way, the Bama LSU game was going on. I was all over the place. Yeah, the Bama LSU game going on. So I have it on the laptop. But then you have a flash. I got to turn up, turn down. In my head, I'm like, I want to watch both of these. The Astro game is going on. Astros and the Phillies. Astros get the final out. Game is over. They win a World Series. And I get the frustration of Dodger fans. I understand. By the way, you shouldn't just be frustrated as a Dodger fan. You should be frustrated by anybody that feels like if the world is right, certain things should happen a certain way. The Astros cheated in 2017. Okay? Altuve was one of the first people they interviewed right out the gate.
Of course.
And some of this is Ramona had sent a group text. And Ramona right out the gate was incredibly upset that the Astros won it and they freaking got Altuve on. I'm sure that's how a lot of people feel. I'm not saying don't be mad at the Astros. I'm not. But you know what I was thinking right at that moment? In my head, I'm like, if there was one team that could have beat the Houston Astros, it's the Los Angeles Dodgers. And going into the playoffs, you thought to yourself, what the Astros do, they swept the first 2 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Astros took care of it. They won 106 games in the regular season. And then in the first round, they took care of the Mariners. However they did it. Maybe some luck, whatever the case. They took care of the Mariners. Then they swept the New York Yankees, and they got to the World Series, and it took them 6 games when they're down 2-1 to go win 3 in a row and beat the Philadelphia Phillies. And I felt like all that anger that was going towards the Astros, which is justified. But in my head, I'm like, Dodger fans, you should also just be mad at the Dodgers. Because what the Dodgers didn't do is what the Astros did. They had the best record in the AL. They handled business to get to the World Series. And I really do believe this. If there was one squad that could have beat the Astros in the World Series, it's probably the Dodgers. And yet the Dodgers were out in the first round of the playoffs.
Well, I agree with everything but the very last part of it, that anybody could have beat the Astros. They just didn't. It's the same way that the Dodgers, anybody could beat anybody in the baseball playoffs. It is random, but everything else, you're spot on. Everything else. And what was interesting is when the playoffs started for the Astros, they weren't hot. Remember, they were behind in their opening game, and then Alvarez hit a big home run to kind of save them. Those next couple of games,
3-run shot down 2.
Yeah, those next couple of games, they didn't play well. It's just that they found ways to win the game. They won despite not being hot, and then they got hot. And then once they got hot, you weren't going to beat them. Once, because to your point, when it just comes down to if everybody's at their best, the only team that would beat them is the Dodgers. but they were at their best at the end. They were at their best. Their best players, whether it was Bregman, whether it was Altuve, Alvarez hit one 900 miles to break that game open. They were great when they needed to be. I don't like anything about it, but you're right.
There was this, I just had this feeling in my head. I'm like, I get this year, in 2022, you should be mad at the Dodgers. You could be mad about what happened in the past. You could say that's BS. And by the way, I hated when they'd put up there, this is the second World Series for the Astros. I'm like, come on, guys.
I know.
Like, I hated all that because it was inauthentic. It was not the way, it didn't seem right and it didn't seem real. But the more I just kind of sat there, I'm like, the Dodger fans, don't be mad at the Astros for winning. Be mad at the Dodgers for not facing the Astros in the World Series.
Well, yeah, I think that's fair. That's fair. The Astros were the best team through the postseason by a mile. They had the best players and they played the best, and their bullpen was basically perfect. Mm-hmm. When your bullpen doesn't give up any runs, you're not going to lose very often. The only time they lost was, the first game. Then McCullers got bombed out because he was tipping his pitches. Whatever, it's one game. I thought Dusty said something interesting about that. Like, hey, look, he kind of had to take one for the team.
Seeing him,
that he had to do it, and I love that guy for doing it because I had to save the bullpen. That game was kind of down the road. I wasn't going to try to keep that thing at a certain number. We weren't going to win it anyway. It took some balls to do it like that.
I told you before I think the postseason started, if the Astros win, you should no longer believe in the baseball gods. You should no longer believe in the baseball gods.
No, I'm all in. What I don't like is the quote from Stan Kasten. He did an interview with Plaschke, and he was talking about this season. We've succeeded in too many ways on too many fronts for me to think of this as any kind of failure. Just in the last 8 years, 5 LCSs, 3 World Series. I don't think those are bad numbers. We won the World Series. We lost another in Game 7. I don't think those are symbols of a fatally flawed program. I just don't agree with that. I want to go back to the very first part of this. Mm-hmm. We've succeeded in too many ways on too many fronts for me to think of this as any kind of failure. Oh, it's some kind of failure. It's not a catastrophe. It's not a fatally flawed program, like he said. But to win 111 games and play 4 more games than the California Angels, that's a failure. And then he went on, well, we draw 4 million fans a year. Fans are voting with their wallets. Yeah, going to Dodger Stadium is a wonderful night out. It's a great ballpark experience. Team on the diamond is second to none in the regular season. They spend money. Everything about it is a terrific night out. Mm-hmm. I'm a active, happy, paying customer going to Dodger games. But to pretend that, this isn't any kind of failure. Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. You played 4 more games than the Cincinnati Reds. It's a failure. You won 111, and you were out before anyone had even really settled into postseason baseball.
Can I ask you why you think why the Dodgers have gone really out of their way to try to sell people that it wasn't a failure? Because I will tell you, and I really, really mean this, if he would have said, we have one goal every single year, it's to win a World Series. And when we don't win a World Series, we feel like we didn't reach our goal. That doesn't take away of how tough it is. We've made it look easy over the years. It's not easy, guys. It's just not. But every single year that we start in spring training, our goal is to win a World Series. We did not accomplish that goal. Do you really need to say anything more than that? Are you not accomplishing both goals by saying it's not easy to win 111 or 106 games? However, we are the Los Angeles Dodgers. Go look at that payroll. Go look at those players. Go look at the All-Stars. Go look at the attendance. Go look at all that. We have every resource in front of us. If we don't win a World Series, that's our number one goal. Why is that so tough to say for Dave Roberts and Andrew Friedman? Why is that so tough to say?
Well, because human beings don't like that.
It is their goal.
Of course it is. And I think that they're disappointed. I agree with you. Their refusal to accept that this is a catastrophe, that this isn't just baseball happening, right? That happens once, maybe twice. This is a pattern of baseball happening 9 times in 10 years. That is not just a, hey, listen, we got 4 million fans and it's great. You're right.
And it's a compliment. It's a compliment.
It is, in a weird way.
It's a compliment that you're not winning a World Series and that's all that matters.
But it's deeply upsetting to hear them talk about it like that. It really. I said it to you.
Get the pitch.
I don't either.
Understand the pitch.
I tell you what else.
And I think it's unnecessary.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it at all. I read that. I'm like, no. Of course it's a failure. Of course it is a failure. It's a massive failure. Now, where you want to blame the failure, we can talk about that all day long. But going back to whenever it was, early September when they clinched the division, and I said, look, for a day, let's celebrate the fact that they've won 9 division titles in 10 years, been in the playoffs 10 straight years. It's really cool. But that they kept repeating that song, it's a bad look.
I don't understand the sell here. Everybody knows if the Dodgers don't win a World Series, it's a failed season.
They're trying
Everybody
to convince themselves because there's no other explanation. There's no other explanation. They're not saying a Dodger fan going, oh, yeah, I never really looked at it like that. That's not happening. Dodger fans are like, I don't care if you win 140 games.
Yeah.
If you lose 3 out of 4 to the Padres after beating them, 99 times out of 100 during the regular season, it's a failure.
I was not even angling towards any of this. I was coming at you for the baseball gods. I thought of the baseball gods on Saturday, and I thought you'd be walking out of Mass on Saturday night.
No Mass. We don't do that in the Church of Baseball. That's not how we roll.
Yeah, you do. Your Mass is the living room.
More in the ballpark than the living room, but sure.
Your church.
Look, they hate me. I understand they hate Dodger fans.
They hate you.
They do. They do. I must have done something. I'll have to make a sacrifice. I'll have to go take some batting practice or hit some fungos or something to make them like me a little bit more. The Dump is coming up next. It's Trav and Slee, 710.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
$710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
long list, Emily. I'll start with this, an update on Trav's neighbor container issue. Tell me that this isn't the most frustrating thing in the world. They got rid of one of them. Like
what?
One,
no, it's a step. That's
one
a good
is
step
gone,
in the right
the other
direction.
one's still there. But if it had been like they both showed up on Friday, one's gone on Saturday, sure. Both of them showed up in like June, and now one leaves. It's not like they haven't had time to load it or unload it or whatever it is they're doing. It's been 6 months.
I would think this is. I would think you're getting. It's a step in the right direction.
Not nearly a big enough one. I need this second step. I need that thing out of there. All right. So SC wins, Oregon wins, UCLA wins. You have 3 one-loss teams in the Pac-12. They're all going to quasi-play each other. Oregon and UCLA have already played. Oregon won that game.
Yep.
SC and UCLA coming up in a couple of weeks.
Got a matchup coming.
And then
Notre Dame winning too is helpful.
Utah and Oregon play, right? So Oregon could get a second loss, which would foul up everything. But if they can beat Utah, which they both favored to do, and now you get SC or UCLA, who's a one-loss team at that point in the Pac-12 championship, the winner of that game has a really good chance of sliding into one of those Final Four. Now, you'll get Georgia and get your doors blown off, but you might get into that Final Four nevertheless.
Trying to think here. I have a difficult time thinking that, and it could happen, you're right, because even Ohio State, Michigan, these teams got to play each other.
Yep.
You're going to have the SEC championship. I don't think the Pac-12 deserves to be in there in that top 4, even if everything played out or laid out for an Oregon. Oregon would have one loss. They got blown out by Georgia. That'd be their one loss.
It's a good loss. I mean, it was a huge loss, 46 points. But
let's put it this way.
They demolished Tennessee, and Tennessee's really good.
It could happen, right?
Sure.
It could happen that a Pac-12 team gets in. But if you watched any college football this weekend, and you saw the Power 4 of the SEC go at it, Tennessee, Georgia, and Alabama and LSU, it's a different league.
Yeah.
It's just a different league.
No.
Listen, they get in. They're going to get blown out.
Yeah, but that's a totally different conversation.
What's your conversation then? What's your conversation? Just
are they
in?
Are they going to find a way to get one of those Final Four spots? Because, first of all, one loss UCLA maybe doesn't get in. They're because their brand among the 3 teams that
I don't think the Pac-12 should get it.
Is the weakest. Should they might. They might. The should of it all is whatever. It's a subjective argument. They'll one loss SC will 1,000% get in because people love them some SC, right? Oregon, maybe because they've been good in the last 10 or 12 years or so. The UCLA ones, say they beat SC.
And then they go in the Pac-12 championship, beat Oregon. Who, rectify the one loss. Because you look at UCLA's schedule right now, they really only have 2 opponents that you look at and say, it was a pretty good team. Beat Utah at the Rose Bowl, which is a good win, and they got beat by Oregon in Eugene. The rest of their games, if they beat SC, I think it'll count as something, but I don't know if they get in just because it's like, UCLA or a one-loss Tennessee. I'm rooting for the Pac-12 to get in. I don't feel like they will get in. It's an interesting – Oregon may be the one that you can make the strongest case for because they lost to an SEC team and they beat all the other Pac-12 teams. That's the only one that I could see potentially happening.
None of those teams. If Georgia's going to be the top dog, and they are, then
they are the top
nobody's
dog.
beating that team. Tennessee's really good. And they got steamrolled.
And Tennessee needs a game where they're at Tennessee. That's how they beat Bama.
Yeah.
Right? Like you need things to line up.
Well, now it's out of their hands. They're not even going to get into a conference championship. They just got to go win the rest of their games and hope that it gets even weirder than where it has to this point. A Wisconsin man set the world record for most golf holes played in a year. He played nearly 18,000 holes. That's nearly 49 holes a day. Al, you know that I love to play golf.
Yeah.
You know that it's something that I look forward to. I've even been known to double dip on occasion.
So you're playing almost 3 rounds, probably like 2.5 rounds a day?
Yeah. No.
My God.
After the first round, always fun.
What is your job?
Playing golf. The second round is good for about 6 or 7 holes. And then you're like, yeah, no, I'm done. It's time to go in. It's time to have a couple of vodka crayons and see what comes up next.
I did the miniature golf last week. I pulled a hammy. Pulled a hamstring.
Mattress Mac. If you don't know who he is a furniture retailer in the Houston area who put a $10 million bet on the Astros to win the World Series, and he just cashed a ticket, Slee, worth $75 million. It's believed to be the biggest sports betting payout ever.
There's a lot of pieces on this dude right now that's just kind of explaining his backstory, how he involves his company, how much he gambles on some of this stuff.
Right.
75 mil. He's chump change to whoever wins the
the Powerball
1.9 jackpot.
By the way, I was wrong about Powerball. Apparently, they're $2 a piece.
$2 a piece.
So I'm going to get 2.5 tickets.
Yes.
You want to go in on that fifth one?
No.
You can have that. You can buy 50% equity.
I'm out.
In one of my tickets. It's only $2 or
I'm
a
out.
buck. I only need $1. Come on, give me $1. What if it hits?
No.
Well, I'll say it hit on one of the other tickets anyway. We'll do it like that. Magic Johnson gets yet another championship ring. 10 NBA championships.
It's cool to see his post.
5 as a player, 5 as an owner. World Series ring with the Dodgers. WNBA championship with the Sparks. And now an MLS championship with LAFC. Magic's got whatever the winning touch is, Magic Johnson has more than anybody else in human history.
I'm surprised there aren't 40 franchises calling him this morning
Just
saying,
take
can you
a piece.
invest? Can
Take
you
a
invest?
piece. Take 1%. We'll give it to you for nothing. Just take one small bite of this, and we just want your mojo in the building. Let's do a little super crosstalk.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles. 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM, Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the radio history. Radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Mason and Ireland to join Travis and Slee?
Super Crosstalk begin. It's time for Super Crosstalk.
Woo, 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 woo. All right, Mace. So once in a blue moon, you and I will text each other, but we don't send each other a million texts.
No, we
right?
do not. We do not.
But I set you on Saturday afternoon. I'm watching the LAFC game
Yep.
on TV, and I knew that you were there. And I said to you, I forget exactly what I said, but is this even half as good as it looks on TV? Because the experience on TV was so exciting and so riveting. I can't imagine what it must have been like inside.
Oh, well, I mean, those fans just never quit. Never quit. And it was, because it was a roller coaster, right? When we felt that we were in extra time and Gareth Bale pulled that off and the place went absolutely nuts. And then PK, the goalie gets hurt, and all of a sudden you've got John McCarthy, a goalie. And I mean, it was amazing. It was a game that had everything. It's one of the coolest games I've ever been at, regardless of sport.
That's what I was going to ask. I was curious because, I mean, to think of all the different sporting events you've been to and to see all these championships in Los Angeles. And, you know, I kind of find this crazy that when LAFC became a team, they're here in Los Angeles, and an MLS team, did you ever think, like, hey, this thing could get, maybe in 25 years, it can get really big. It can be a really big deal here in LA. Were there moments you're at the stadium just saying, like, damn, they really did.
Well, I had that experience when I was the Falconer, right? So that made me just love the team and it was one of the, I mean, it was a life highlight to be the Falconer and to have that thing, you know, on your end, take off and fly around. I mean, it was amazing. And then Will Ferrell and the ownership group and Larry Berg, who's like the big owner. I was down in the field this year talking to Larry, great guy. He was talking about, you know, what transfers they were going to work. I mean, just all around fantastic. And by the way, the MLS Cup is coming in here today.
I know. It should be here shortly, so we're excited to see that coming up in a little bit. But I want to go back to what Al said.
Is Ireland there or no?
John, are you there?
Yep.
Oh,
there you are. Did you get a chance to see it, John?
Oh, yeah, whole thing. Watched the entire game. Matter of fact, I texted with about 3 minutes to go that I think it's the best soccer game I've ever seen. And what's weird is I tweeted that. Here's what I tweeted. This MLS Cup final might be the best soccer game I've ever seen. Just ridiculous drama. I've been convinced that it's been over 3 times. Going to a shootout now between two goalies who are friends in front of the 32-52. This game will be talked about for years. Now, part of this is because it's Twitter, and Twitter sucks, and everybody on it is miserable. But the blowback I got was stunning. It was, this isn't real soccer because Gareth Bale is at the end of his career, and these aren't elite players. None of that has anything to do with how great the game was. I didn't go out and proclaim that the LAFC is going to go to the World Cup and compete. But boy, soccer fan is a little red-assed, is a little chippy.
Well, a lot of Galaxy fans got pissed off on my timeline. A lot of Galaxy fans are like, "Well, yeah, we won championships, and you never talked about us."
Good for you.
And I would say, yeah, and
That's because I don't think we ever had the Galaxy. On
Yeah,
our
exactly.
Right, whenever the Galaxy, they never invited me to have their bird on my arm. You know,
Well, and what they did, if all it takes is a bird on an arm,
my arm, and I'm
let's
like, I'm
go.
in.
Let's go. But this goes back
Well,
to
Mace,
Slee's
did
point.
you notice who was the Falconer on Saturday?
Yeah, Magic Johnson.
Was it Magic?
Yeah, it was Magic. It was really
he's
cool.
a minority owner for that.
Well, I was going to say, look, if you get Magic in your ownership group, good things happen to you. I just read it off all the championships that he's had. But Mace, go back to what Slee asked you there a
Yes.
second ago. You were in the house for the Super Bowl not that long ago.
Correct.
You went to Arlington for the World Series.
I was there for the Dodgers World Series.
Right,
yeah.
so you've seen a lot of them very, very
I was
recently.
2010. I was at the Lakers championship
Over the Celtics?
Over the Celtics.
Okay, so you have a pretty good resume.
I've seen them all, and there's no such thing as the Mace curse. Clearly, clearly,
That's
there's
right.
no such
Yeah,
thing
you
as the
gotta
Mace
get
curse.
rid of that.
Mace,
Yeah.
Mace, serious question.
Yeah.
You and I have always said the best game we've ever
I know
attended in
which one.
person
Mm-hmm.
was Texas USC.
No
when Vince
question.
Young pulled it out at
Yes,
the end. It
no
was just-
question.
Was this better than that?
God, this time we won. The good guys won.
I
this
think it's in
time.
the conversation.
It's definitely in the conversation as just a great, great sporting event from beginning to end. And a lot of it is the fans. The fans at that place. And if you've not been to Bank of California Stadium, it is the first time I ever saw the stadium, I thought, oh, no, this is something real.
Yeah.
Because it is a beautiful stadium. It really is. And it's a great experience.
Perfect size, perfect
I was
everything.
just
Yep.
gonna say,
Yeah,
it's like
22,000
22K.
fans. It's like really, really. It's up there, John. It's in the conversation. It's in the conversation. It was really cool. And by the way, thanks to Sam Pines, our market manager, because at the very last minute he came through with a ticket. I'm like, oh, thank you, Sam.
That's a
thank
heck
you,
of a
Sam.
hookup.
Yeah,
That's an unbelievable that they were able to create, like we're talking about, whether it's the stadium, whether it's the 3252, whether all of the little touches that are going to determine whether or not something is good or special, right?
Yes.
You build a new building, it's going to be good. You put together a new team, there's going to be some level of excitement. But to go from that to you've nailed the colors, you've nailed the stadium, you've nailed the integration with the city.
You've got the superstar in
the
Bela.
superstar. You've got an ownership group that is incredibly appealing.
Yep.
To have just basically aced that test in a very short period of time is extraordinary. I don't know if I've seen that before, where you just kind of out of thin air. I've seen teams move and show up and have success.
Yeah.
But to just create it like that, maybe the Knights in Vegas when they got hot.
Yeah, they
it's
got
a good
hot.
comp.
and
No,
won
it's a good
almost
comp.
right
But
away, yeah.
that's really the only other one.
Yeah, I'm jealous kind of when you say the experience that you just said.
Yeah.
Like I could see that being one of the coolest sporting events that you go to for the next 15, 20 years. Like that's
it
a
was
special
really cool.
moment.
It was really cool.
So if that's the high,
Yep.
where is the low when they decided to run the ball on 3rd and 5 instead of throw a pass?
You know what? Thank you. That's when the game was lost. I said
course
right
it
away,
was.
that's when the game was
Of
lost.
course it was.
And Jalen Ramsey's complaining today. He's got every
Of course he
right to
does.
complain.
Yes.
They came up with that big stop against Brady. Then the next thing you know, could Cooper Kupp have gotten that first down?
Could have got a couple
Would've been
more
close.
yards.
Could have gotten a couple of
Yeah.
yards.
Close.
And maybe it's easier for Anderson. But I've seen McVay do this before. That call to we'll just punt and our defense will hold. And Ramsey's like, come on, man. We made a big
never
shot.
should
Now
have
you're
been
asking
back
us-
out there.
Never should have been.
We
never should have been.
I was flabbergasted. Look,
And terrible call.
it was a terrible. It was the call that they wanted. Just hit the line, fall down, punt it away.
Right.
They weren't trying to get
No,
a first down
no.
in that spot.
That is unbelievable. They weren't trying to get a first down.
Not with that play.
You got to be a killer at that
Listen,
point.
all
by
three
the way,
plays,
last
they weren't
year-
trying to get a first down.
No.
Last year in the playoffs, they did exactly the opposite. With the game on the line, and they could have run the ball
Taken
and
a
sent
knee.
it to
That's
overtime.
right.
Same stadium.
Yeah.
They threw it deep to Cooper Kupp. If you get a first down, the game's over.
They didn't get a first down in the fourth quarter. They didn't have a first down.
Three and out drives.
They had three drives, three and
Their
outs.
fourth quarters are
Dreadful.
incomparably bad.
Do you know what their differential is in the fourth
No.
quarter? Negative 61. There's 61 points the wrong way in the fourth
Yeah.
quarter. And
Oh, my
it was
God.
and this I think is what set Jalen off, right? Was this very clear declaration to your offense, There's nothing that you guys are doing
Right.
that I have faith in. That was McVay's message to everybody there. These guys can't do it. You're going to have to do it. And Ramsey's thinking, again, we just stopped him from the 7-yard line, 4 plays in a
exactly.
row. One of them were pretty lucky.
Yep.
A drop
drop
pass.
ball. Yeah.
But this was not just hey, let's give our defense. The defense had already done everything you could possibly ask them to do. You give Tom Brady 10 bites at the apple, he's going to get one of them.
Right, and the defense has been really good for the. You look at the scores. The score.
How many points.
How many times have we scored 30 in a game this year? We used to
Once.
average 30. One time we've scored 30. The offense is just dreadful. It is just dreadful. And I fully acknowledge you've got 3 starting offensive linemen on injured reserve and all that stuff, but you got to figure it out.
Mace, nobody disagrees. They lost the game by deciding to do nothing for 3 downs and then punt the ball. But I'm asking you genuinely, what were they doing on defense in that last drive? What were they doing on defense in that last drive?
They fell into the classic prevent trap.
Right.
Prevent, but didn't even do that right. The prevent defense is you give them the middle of the field.
Yep.
You protect the sidelines and keep everything in front of you.
No timeouts.
They didn't protect the sidelines.
The problem was the first play. And
it was a 30-yard chunk.
It was a 28-yard chunk that took 7 seconds off the clock. They gave them,
and all of a sudden they're there.
They had to go 60 yards, right? Where they started their drive. You needed a 60-yard touchdown drive. They got half of it in one play.
In about 12
play.
seconds.
It went like that. It was they blew it there, but I know that you keep it. The defense had nothing to do
They
with
didn't lose
losing
again.
that game.
This offense lost the game, but that last drive made no
on the
sense
offense.
either.
Yeah. It's you can't ask somebody to throw a perfect game. They didn't. They gave up a hit in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Yep.
But all you needed to do is get on base one first down. They had -5 yards for the fourth
and where's
quarter.
the killer attitude, right? Where's the we're 3 and 4, and what do we have to?
This
and
is the
go
season.
For it
This
and
is
put
the season.
away. Exactly. Keep the season alive, and they chose. And this is a McVay thing, chose not to do it. Chose to kick the ball away and assume that the defense is going to be able to stop Tom Brady again.
Did you guys hear him say, I want to play this for you real quick. This is McVay after the game talking about what didn't happen, because there's a phrase in here that I want to get your guys' reaction to.
Tell them the truth. That's exactly what happened offensively, and I'm a big part of that. We didn't do nearly enough to be able to win the game. Defensively did, and that's the hard part about sports, and that's what's so unique about football is you got 3 phases, and they're on the field at different times. We got to be able to stay connected, but there's no doubt about it. The offense, and I'm incredibly responsible for this, and it's a tough pill to swallow, and yeah.
He goes on to say that we need to make changes. We need to make what changes?
Yeah, what changes can you make
What
now?
are you going to do? This isn't college football where you activate your freshmen and say, all right, my seniors aren't getting it done, let's get the thing started.
Right.
This is what you got. These are the players that you have. What do you do differently?
Let me ask you a hypothetical. I asked John this last week. If we had gotten Christian McCaffrey, how different would things look? Because we were very, very close,
I think
according to all reports.
Marginally
They
different.
still would have that offensive line.
Yeah, that's why they'd be better, because McCaffrey's special.
Yeah.
He can catch, he can run. But
they beat Tampa.
To John's point, yeah, they beat Tampa. They probably pick up that first down. But I don't know if they're the team they were a year ago. They still have all sorts of other problems.
Oh, lots of problems. Yeah.
I think they got very lucky that the McCaffrey deal didn't go. They got very lucky that the Brian Burns didn't go, because the price tag on those deals were astronomical.
Yeah, a couple of firsts on those. Yeah.
Travis, I disagree with you.
I know you do.
I would have done both those deals.
Yeah, no, obviously the Rams. Agree
Well, you
with
could probably only do one, because you were trading the same stuff for one that you would have traded the other.
Either one rather than.
But John, why? Okay, so let's use the McCaffrey one as the jump off point. Since you why to get marginally better?
Yes, because you're either getting better or you're getting worse, and it's so tight. Seattle's leading that division. Who's coming out of the NFC going to the Super Bowl? The Eagles, probably?
Eagles, Cowboys, both
Niners.
look really good. The Niners, I think, are a good team.
Giants
look
good.
The Vikings have only lost one game.
So, John, you're saying because you're in the mix, at least with all the – because there isn't one
you're in a
clear-cut
window where
favorite.
you have Aaron Donald, Matt Stafford, and Jalen Ramsey.
And by the way,
you got to go for it.
But the other thing I thought. The other thing I thought was, oh my God! And a year from now, McVay is going to be on Amazon, and Aaron Donald is going to be retired.
Yes. And that's the scariest part of all, because
So, Trav, why don't you want to capitalize on this window? Why would you want to do nothing?
Because where they are right now, there are 16 teams in the NFC. Rams are the 12th team in the NFC right now.
Right.
With Christian McCaffrey, you're the 10th team. You're still nowhere. And now you're just deeper in the hole.
But isn't the idea get into the tournament? That's what
in
that's
the
what
NFL,
Leslie
yes.
is. Get
If
into the
I
tournament.
thought that it was a golden ticket into the tournament, I'd feel differently. I don't think it is. That's my point. I think they go from
but what do
pretty
you gain
lousy
by,
to slightly less lousy.
Okay, what do you gain by using the Travis Rogers plan of doing nothing?
You gain all of the picks that you would have to have.
And what do we
sent out of
normally do
McCaffrey.
with those picks?
Well, we're going to have to use them for the first time in this era because they haven't used them.
Right, and
you're going to have to go for Aaron Donald was a draft pick. Aaron Donald was a guy that
but
they
he's
got
literally
through the draft.
the only one.
He's not the only one. Havenstein was a draft
Cooper
pick. He's
Kupp
been
was
a
a
part of
draft
this.
pick.
Cooper Kupp was a draft pick.
Cooper Kupp's a good example. Cooper Kupp was a third-round pick.
They didn't in last year. The third-round pick hasn't played at all. Last year, Tutu Atwell, second-round pick,
Disaster.
hasn't played.
Disaster
They haven't
pick.
picked
But
in the
isn't that-
top
isn't-
3
isn't
rounds
that-
in
isn't that
forever.
falling
Isn't
more
that-
to John's point?
Right.
No.
You're making my argument.
No, I'm
you
not.
can't draft.
No, I'm not. They have not had the picks. Last year, this year, they're
Travis,
sending out
you
the
just
second
said,
pick.
You just gave 3 examples of picks that they had and made and busted on.
2. No, one's hurt. One bust. Tutu's the bust. Bruss got hurt.
Bruss got
hasn't played.
hurt, Torres, whatever.
Right? The other ones, they didn't have the picks, John. This year, they'll have a second-round pick. They'll have a third-round pick. No 4. They'll have a 5. They've found guys down in the draft. They found John Johnsons. They found Troy Hills. They found some guys to be able to do some things on this team. You can't never pick.
Yeah, I was talking to we watched the game yesterday, obviously, and I was so pissed off afterwards. And Juan was like, well, this is the price you pay. I'm like, is this the price you pay for pushing all your chips to the middle of the table over and over and over again so that you don't have the depth to survive a bunch of injuries? Depth is the huge issue with this team, and it's almost like
before the season started.
It's almost like it's hollowed out inside, and that it's premium talent.
Yes.
And if something happens to the premium talent, there's nothing to
It's
step
not
in.
unlike where the Lakers are, right?
Yeah.
You
No,
go all in.
let's focus
you
on the
get
Rams.
it.
Let's stay
But,
just on the Rams.
but they both won.
Yeah.
But the aftermath of the championship, it could be pretty grim.
Yeah.
And
This may be the price tag for
Yes.
winning the Super Bowl.
And by the way, I'm okay with it.
Hey,
But let's start.
I'll pay that price every day of the
Let's
week.
start collecting more little pieces of string to go make another run to trade those picks out the other way. There he is. There's Mario. Mario's in the house. When's the trophy coming, Romario?
Mario's feeling good.
When is it going to be here?
What do you mean when? It's going to be here in minutes.
Minutes.
Now,
Seconds.
Mario's the producer of our broadcast, right?
The championship LAFC
There you go.
producer
There
of the
you go.
broadcast.
Yes.
Get it right, Mace. Let's go.
He's already working on that
Let's
imaging
go,
right now.
let's go.
Outstanding.
It
It's
was so cool to be there for that.
I know you were there, Mace. I know you were
It's
there.
Crazy.
Dying with the rest of us.
Yeah.
through the ups and downs.
Oh, it was such a roller coaster of a game.
Oh,
and
my
so
God.
you get to PKs and it's so nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
It's so nerve-wracking.
Mario, he
'cause-
said it's one of the best sporting events he's ever been to, and the laundry list of sporting events that he's been to. That says a lot right there.
Of course, me too. A lot of people can say the same thing.
Yeah.
But being that this is the station of the black and gold, it's only right that we bring the MLS Cup trophy here to the station, right?
Yeah.
But we also have a big surprise for you, Mace, because I know you wanted to speak to somebody, right?
Yes.
You wanted to speak to somebody, and it's only right that we bring in the cup along with the MVP of the MLS Cup final, John McCarthy in the house.
Outstanding.
He's got hardware. He's got hardware.
his MVP trophy with him.
That is amazing.
Congratulations, guys. That is fantastic.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
So we got the MVP trophy. We've got the MLS Cup trophy. This is the Western Conference trophy. This is
Congratulations,
unbelievable.
man. That is awesome. What a
Congratulations,
great-
John.
Wow. The
Have a
MVP
seat.
trophy. Look at that. Look at that.
That
Are
is-
you kidding
that
me?
is amazing.
That is so freaking cool.
That is amazing.
That is so cool.
So we're joined right now by John McCarthy, who was in goal for those PKs, who was the MVP of the MLS Cup.
Congratulations.
Wow. John,
Congratulations.
Where's your head right now? How are you feeling? What's going through your mind?
Yeah, I'm out of my mind.
Yeah.
I'm lost. I don't know what. The last 48 hours was nuts.
Yeah.
It's surreal.
Well, take us to those. First of all, you stepped in after an injury. What did that feel like to go in and know that it was really on you all of a sudden?
Yeah, I was I was devastated for Maxey, and I still am.
Yeah.
For him to have an opportunity to go to the World Cup, and he was going to go to the World Cup. I've talked to him since the surgery and stuff, and it's really sad. It's sad, but I just feel for him terribly. But that moment was insane. For a second, we were talking. Maybe I would go in for PKs, and I was like, okay, can I go to the bathroom real quick? I want to make sure that I'm like good. And then 2 minutes later, everything hit, and I was like, here we go.
Yeah,
let's go. Yeah.
So
John,
good.
Were you, like you mentioned it there briefly, were you going to go into the game if it did go to PKs? Had you already kind of put yourself in a place mentally that, okay, I'm ready to go do this? And how does that change if all of a sudden, because of an injury, you're in there earlier than you might have expected?
Yeah, there was talks about it. We had talks about it. It was up to Steve. Oka said he would let me know if Steve made a decision. He never made a decision upon it. So I leaned forward to Oka right before the start of the second overtime, and I said, Oaks, I'm being serious here. Like, am I going in? And he's like, how long do you need to warm up? Like 7 minutes? He's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I just want to run inside to go to the bathroom. And he's like, all right, I'll let you know.
Wow.
And then he didn't really have to let me know.
So how, when you're in PKs, are you just, I mean, is it just purely a guess? Are you guessing which way? How does that work?
So everyone knows there's like video out there. Every club, every league uses the same database and stuff like that. So that we did watch video on the guys that could have been taking PKs or could have been on the field at times. But Oka came out to me before PKs and he just goes, you want the sheet? I said, nah, I don't want the sheet. Because I would have showed it. And he goes, okay, what are we doing? I go, I got a good feeling. Let's just
so
go.
You didn't look at the sheet?
Since the game started, didn't look at it.
Do you make your decision before the ball struck? You're saying, I'm going left, I'm going right. Did you make it long before the ball's ever kicked?
Yep. Just had my mind set on a few things, and Oka was like, I like it, so we stuck with it. And
well, John, you were on that team, right? Don't you know some of those guys that were kicking against you?
I knew some of the guys, but not the ones that kicked against me. There was like 5-6 guys on the team. One of the guys got taken out was Corey Burke, Julian Carranza, the guys that were on the field, and Andre Blake and Jack Elliott. Those are the guys I played with. So they didn't kick, actually. The 3 guys that did kick, I never played with them.
Yeah.
So like
that's even more impressive, by the way.
So what's it like playing before that crowd, in front of that? I mean, just a crazy, everybody on the edge. What was that like?
It was electric. Yeah. Absolutely electric. The fans all season long were absolutely electric. And in that the stadium, normally it's like the 3-2-5-2 were going crazy and chanting. And like the rest of the stadium was kind of like still cheering on. But everyone in that stadium was doing the chants on that day. And it was like an echo from side to side. And it was like, it's like a deafening, numbing like feeling. Like you get the chill. I get the chills thinking about it.
LAFC goalkeeper John McCarthy joining us here in studio. Of course, LAFC is your MLS Cup champion. It took place on Saturday afternoon. Like you're talking about, the place is just rocking. It's going crazy, right? The 3252's doing their thing, but it's the whole place. How hard is it, as somebody who's not in the game, to not get caught up in the fanness of it all and try to say, hey, listen, I may have to go in and play in this whole thing? And, of course, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. It's a moment that you dream of. It's something that, like, you just dream of playing in a final. You dream of getting to a final. But I just try to train every day. Like, I want to win at everything I do. I like to compete. I prepare like I'm playing on the weekend, even though if my name's not on the team sheet, if I'm not going to play. So I just hope my preparation was right if the time did come around and good things happen.
I'm curious just when that first penalty kick misses, does it change, like as the penalty kicks are going, does it change your strategy? Does it change your, hey, now we're in a position, all I got to do is, if my guys start hitting theirs, we're going to win this thing. Does it change anything as this is progressing?
No, I just hope it instilled maybe a little more confidence on the guys, not thinking we're down one. You know, it was kind of just like, oh, we're even. Like we're back to, there's at least four more guys still. Like you always pick 5 shooters because it's normally like a five round thing. But I hope that it just instilled a little bit more confidence in the next guys coming up. Like, hey, if I score, we're good. You know, just pick your spot and go. For me, it was just like, hey, it went over great. You know, we're back on track. Hopefully I can save one. And I felt really bad for Hogstad because of how he slipped, and like, so I just tried to walk over to him and just like, hey man, pick it up. It happens.
John, I thought watching the game that game was over 3 times. When they scored. I was just going to ask you, when they scored before Bale got the equalizer late, was your head of, okay, it's not our year, we're probably going to lose, and then the place just erupts? Do you allow your head to go there, or like fans do, or are you always thinking that your team's going to pull a rabbit out of the hat?
A game's not over till it's over. But when I made the save and I saw Jack Elliott's long leg somehow do go gadget and tap it in, I was like, no way, we're a man down. He just scored with 6-7 minutes to go, whatever was left. That's how this whole moment is gonna end.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it. And then like I said, it's not over till it's over. And Gareth, with 2 minutes to go, whatever it was, just absolutely rises up and just dunks on him.
Yeah, the thing.
He does. That's another moment you dream of.
Right.
The stadium erupts. They're crazy.
The thing that's so weird about that situation is that it's in extra time, and you don't know exactly how long extra time is going to be, so you don't know how much time you have to get the equalizer.
The clock stopped.
You're looking at it, you're like, oh, I don't know, how much time do you think is left?
Yeah. Exactly. And there was 9 minutes of added time in extra time.
Right.
Holy crap, man. Holy crap.
Do you remember being on that stage? Do you remember? I mean, when I've had crazy moments in my life, I don't even remember. I'm unconscious. Do you remember being on that stage and all the stuff that happened afterwards?
Yeah, the more it's talked about and not just thought about. I remember it. I remember standing there and screaming at Carlos and throwing beer and water at the owners and it was crazy. You feel like you're on Cloud 9, and that's what Cloud 9 felt like. And then Carlos walks up, and we made a little tunnel for him, and we're all screaming. And then he lifts it. It was so many emotions. The tears of joy, you can't describe it. You cannot describe that.
So, John, what do you do now?
I got chills again.
mean, you won the Cup. You're the MVP. How do you celebrate? What do you do for the next weeks, months? Obviously, there's always another season coming up. There's more matches to be played. But how do you just kind of soak all of this in?
You just try to soak it in. I don't know how you do it. I've never done it before. This is my first time. I haven't lifted a trophy since I was 15. Just try to enjoy it. I really want to see a lot of my family and friends back home. My phone was still going nuts with people calling and texting me. That's how I just want to enjoy it with the people that were we enjoyed it the last 2 days with the team. So that was crazy. I want to go see Maxie. I want to have a good moment with him. And then family and friends, couple more good nights, I think, and then you gotta, like you said, there's all next season. You gotta kind of get back into focus at some point, and I think that'll just be day one of preseason. It'll kind of reset, and hopefully when I get that ring, it'll settle in a little bit.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, listen, I got to be there. It was one of the great sporting events I have ever attended, from beginning to end, roller coaster up and down. And
me too.
So thank you for that, and thank you to the LAFC for
congratulations, man.
Unbelievable game,
congratulations,
unbelievable performance. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. I got tears thinking
about it. You well earned.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well
You're not the only one.
Well deserved for sure. That's John McCarthy from LAFC. Congratulations one more time. Mason in Ireland is coming up next. Flea and I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, guys.
LAFC all day.